Welcome to Monday Night Tour Ramblings. I will be your host, Lawrence, but you guys already know that because I see my name being mentioned in the chat. So, how has everyone been? I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Mine has been trying. Anyone that has talked to me around here knows I've been sick since either Wednesday night or Thursday. And I was loaded with YouTube stuff to do, whether it be streams, recording of streams, doing reviews. Saturday night, I just decided I'm doing nothing Saturday or Sunday so I can make it into work. Hell, I kind of wanted to call in today, but my boss is an asshole. He said, nope, we go live Monday night no matter what. You can have the 25th of December off. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. So anyway, here I am. I'm going to do my best. I do feel better. Everything has started to dry out on me. So I may sound a little nasally today. My throat is just kind of, it's sore from the coughing. But other than that, I'm doing absolutely excellent. So, got a lot to discuss. I'm going to try and go just 3 hours so I can get back to sleep, but we know how this thing goes. And I do want to discuss a lot that has to do with this topic because I think there's a lot that us across the board don't just get about what a QC issue is and what's not a QC issue. Not that some of the things that aren't QC issues don't need to be addressed, but sometimes things on QC issues, we just don't like them. So we chalk it up to being a QC issue. So, and again, a lot of this has to do with, if you watched my Hawk video, you'll see when the arm pops off. And then that's when I realized the whole shoulder thing, come to find out. That's by design, and it's called the Butterfly Cup. And I spoke to the designer about it, which is Lenny, and I asked him if this was supposed to do this, and he said yes, that's the butterfly design, and yada yada yada. We'll discuss this a little bit later, but he said that he'd appreciate me discussing it with people because it might keep him from getting a few DMs that he has to answer. So, anyway. If you are a super toy enabler, if I do a pre-recorded of a Thursday with a friend, it will go up roughly the day or two after. So if you are and you're interested, Fuller's Figures, him and I did a stream on Saturday. It's all recorded. It will go up on Thanksgiving. I'm assuming no one wanted to do a live on Thanksgiving, myself included. And again, if you're not following Fuller's Figures, wonderful guy. Really good to talk to. He's from Ireland, and it's always nice to hear how they got stuff as kids, how he collects stuff now and everything. So, and then again, if you've seen the reviews that I've done, still waiting on that Ripper, but I don't see that coming in for quite some time. So quickly, I can see there's a lot of members in the chat right now. We do have the memberships, which are 99 cents to help support the channel, $2.99, yada yada. If you are a Super Toy Enabler and you guys are on what's it called again? Why can I never remember the name of it? Discord. We do have a private Discord. Either hit me up and I'll send you a link, or you can find it in the community tabs. I sent it out only for those people. So we did a membership chat, and there's all the links. Let me mention all the links below in all of my videos. So we did a members only stream last Friday. It was smaller than the first one that we did. So another Punk's Pit. It was episode 2. A lot of fun. We actually got to meet 2 new people that we never seen before. Viper Scout was there, and Aaron the Toy Enhancer. And someone had gone on and bought some merchandise of mine, and I can see what people buy, but I can't see, who it is. And while he was like on the video, he started like drinking out of the mug or acting like he was. And then he showed that he had the sweatshirt, and I said, oh my God, that's so cool. You're the one that bought it, And then he started telling the story. Now he's out of Georgia. And he was saying he stopped in and he just got the sweatshirt. He threw it on. He said he was out just toy hunting, and he stopped at an Ollie's, and he saw some like a 17, 18-year-old kid looking at the Marvel Legends stuff at Ollie's. And he says, I'm always kind of shocked when I see someone that young looking at collectible toys. And he goes, I went over and him and I, we started chatting and everything. And then he goes, hey, I love the merchandise. And he was like, what? And he's like, he goes, you know what this is? He's like, yeah, dude, I watch that guy all the time. And I was like, that is so cool. That is so cool. And I probably should do this more often. I always feel weird kind of doing it, but I'm going to show you guys. If you don't ever click on it, and again, like you can see kind of how many people click on stuff and go through links and everything, but quickly, if you're ever wondering, here's all the merchandise that I do put up there. Yeah, the yellow is probably not the prettiest, but there's different colors you can scroll through. But I got mugs. I got the shirts. I finally was able to get this one of Rock and Roll and a Stalker. This was the one that I had to fight with, and I didn't realize it wasn't up. That's why it says August. But I got all the stuff up there. If you are ever interested, there's way more than this. If you go to all products. But I do have bigger mugs. I know a few people had looked before. I don't drink coffee, so I didn't really realize it was a smaller mug. But there are bigger mugs up there now, the 15-ounce one. So if you are interested in any type of merchandise, supporting the channel, it's there for you guys. So, all right. Cobra Commander, that's just mean. It was not his son. But anyway, and there's stuff with Roman on it. I know everyone seems to love Roman. So, all right. So, I'm going to remove this real quick because I don't need this anymore. All right. So, anyway, let's get to the chat because holy crap, I wasn't expecting this many people. I looked at how many people had hit the little select button or the remind me button. There's like 21 people. So, quickly. Johnny Reno is here. We got Fat Trid. This is damn it, Larry. You look. Put it up here. So now it's always there. Damn it, Larry. I want to say damn it because it's like a two-sided thing and I can't get the front off, but you can't tell that it has different lines there and everything. It's really weird. We got Mr. Wonderful here. Rumor has it Roman's running the show tonight per fan. I wish he could, man. I feel like crap. We got Payne. What? I need help. I'm here again. Yes, you do. Again, some wonderful channel members right there. Old Snake is here. Danny is in the house. We don't see Danny live too often. That is for sure. Nolan, who's in every chat, another channel member. Ed Action Figs is here. Shark Eyes is here, who continues to. He's donated twice. 5 channel members. 5 channel memberships twice, and I can't say thank you enough when I see him do something like that or anyone. Down South 71 is here. JLS Comics is in the house. I have started to, in my reviews, link to his channel. And if he has a video that describes the figure that I am reviewing, if you want to find a little backstory, I put links to his stuff in here. He does a wonderful job. They're usually anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes, depending on how much bio there is to the character. And I've asked, and he said he would be more than welcome to be on a Thursday with the Friends. So 2024, let's look for JLS to show up here. Matthew Matson, the moderator. What he says goes. I also forgot to mention, Action Figs is also the second moderator. So PNC is in the house, another channel member, along with Master Versal, Toy Hunter. You guys are really already going. Cobra Commander's here. Thanos Copter, who don't look at his Instagram if you have your little children around because it is not appropriate and he is pushing the boundaries. Carol is in the house. Thank you very much, Carol. Viper Scout, who we got to meet first time on a live stream. So if you're a channel member, go back and watch it. You'll get to see Viper Scout there. McClockturg, I'm gonna get it right one day, but so someone corrects me. Greg is in the house, my 3D printer. I haven't seen him that much because he moved far, far, far away. It's like 20 minutes now. Darth Burke is here. We got Russell's in the house. Here he is again. I already mentioned him, but again, my moderator, I forgot to mention it. Palpatine, I think he was the first channel member. So once again, thank you very much. We got Viewmaster Figure. QC issues for me, our paint rub figures come in apart easily. QC issues for me, our paint rub figures come in apart easily distribution. Price overseas getting the figures before we do when it's American company and less goes on. Well, that's not really a QC issue if they get them in. There's reasons for that, and that has to do with location. Backwoods is in the house. And let's see here. Anyone else? Anyone else? We got Sean Foster is here. We got Cobb Webb. Again, follow Cobb Webb. He's always supporting everyone. And you'll get to know what everyone is doing for sure. Hayden's here. I'm 22, turn 23 next week. Been collecting all my life. You're so young, but I love to hear that. Listen, to get a collector in that's 22, turning 23, I think is awesome. I think that the things that we've done, and I want to say we as adults, guys in our 40s and stuff, I feel like it is so mainstream now to collect that you guys won't get made fun of nearly as much as a kid. Your kids won't. Old Snake is here. God, there are so many. Hey, look, Roman the dog is here. I want a Roman shirt. Hey, buddy, if you got your own YouTube account, you can pay for your own shirt. I think I pay for enough for you, don't I? Jer Bear is here. Let's see here. Anyone else? Brick Something shows up. What's going on? For that? Am I missing something? Are you talking to someone? I don't know who that is. Anyway. Oh, wow. There are so many. I probably should have gone through this a little bit sooner. Largo's Layers in the house. This is how you go for so long. Skyfall. This is me just filling room, letting my air open up here. Robert, my QC issue is my Firefly midsection like everyone else's, but also my Firefly has little paint off his jaw. I'm not going to argue with the looseness. That I would agree that is an issue with that for sure. We got Allison Troy's in the house. Yo Joe Jerk isn't here. All right, you know what? How did these guys do it, man? Like Geek Dead Life and action figs. Why can I never remember toy anxiety, man? They just rattled through this. Newfie is here. All right. Arthur is here. Odin. Aaron the Toy Hunter. Aaron the Toy Enhancer. Here's the guy that I told you about. Aaron, they asked if the guy that or the kid that saw you with the shirt was your son, and I said no, so you can correct them. And Ostrodamus is here, and so many more, including Duchess of Darkness. Thank you for showing up. All right, we got 59 people here. Absolutely awesome. Okay. So, again, about the topic, we'll be talking about it later on. I did speak to Lenny about this. That's the designer. If you don't realize, Lenny is the only designer on the G.I. Joe team. Yes, there are other people that work on it, but he is the only designer. Hence the reason why it's hard to see O-rings and the 6-inch figures coming to life. And Aaron says it definitely was not his son. Oh, yeah, and hit that like button. Thank you very much, Ed. Thank you very much. Yeah, so Lenny he said, hey, thank you. How save me some DMs because they get hit up with a lot of stuff. And I think you guys are going to be really interested. These arms have started to pop out on some of them. We saw with Down South 77, he had an issue with his mole rat. I actually popped my mole rats off. But you know what? No one complains when the Motu, when the Motus pop off, and that's because it's by design. Well, it seems like a lot of the new G.I. Joes are going to be like that too. So we're definitely going to get into that. There is no doubt about it. And again, I think when you hear the reason for it, you're going to go, okay, that is not a QC issue. That is how it's designed. Unfortunately, what's unfortunate is that no one told us. If someone would have told us, it would have definitely made it a little bit better. So this week I should be getting Chun-Li in. Actually, I know I will be because I received a notification from Hella Dope Toys. Now, I mentioned on one of the streams, wasn't on my stream, I mentioned in the chat how I had a kind of just a comical story about the Chun-Li and Hella Dope Toys, and Aaron and Ted both wanted to hear it, but really couldn't type it up. It's nothing great, and you'll see it on Thanksgiving, or you can see it now if you're a Super Toy Enabler. So what's funny is I was talking to Connor, that's Fuller Figures, about Fuller's figure, actually. About he had brought up the Street Fighter wave, and I said, oh yeah, you know what? I'm like, yeah, we've seen it, but I'm waiting for the Chun-Li. And I was telling the story how it was really the first one where everyone told me they wanted me to review it when it comes in, and I said, hey, you know what? If I get enough super chats, I'll buy it. And sure enough, the super chats started coming in, and it was actually kind of funny. And I said, yeah, Chun-Li has been popping up. BBTS has her. Everyone seems to have her, but she's already been put on at Hella Dope Toys. But unfortunately, they haven't gotten her yet. It's not their doing. That's just how the shipment goes. And as we're talking about it, sure enough, like my watch goes off, I look at it, and I can see order confirmed from Hella Dope Toys. So I look at my phone, I'm like, you're never going to believe this, but literally as we're talking, I get the notification that it will be shipping out. So that was the story. Nothing great. Nothing that's nothing against Hella Dope Toys, Ted or Aaron or anyone like that. That just was the little story about it. So and then we did hit 3,000 subs this week. I meant to do a thank you, like a thank you picture. I kept getting delayed and everything like that. You might get some of that mute watching me cough. But I meant to do a thing. I just didn't get around to it. I've done too much stuff, and I'm just, again, it's exhausting being sick and doing all that stuff. So, Danny, thank you very much. Patrick, thank you. Like, I knew it was going to happen. It was only a matter of time, but it is funny. I would hit I'd be like 7 away, and then I'd lose 3 subs, and you're 10 away, and then you hit 5, then you lose 2 more, and it was like back and forth. So we finally hit it, and then it just kind of shot right through it. And yep. Damn it, we hit 3,000. Maybe I had an idea, like I was gonna do the 3,000 theme and everything, but yeah, I just didn't get to it. And thank you. Well deserved. I guess. I mean, I appreciate it. Like I said, I do work hard. I think you gotta work for everything that you do. So yeah, I do appreciate it. Anyway, so I'm going out of town this week. I will be leaving Thursday to drive to New Jersey. I know I mentioned this on a stream. So I'm going to be driving straight through from Michigan to New Jersey. So that runs right through Pennsylvania. I-80. If anyone knows of any good toy stores or any type of comic shop like that, hit me up. Let me know. Because I'm kind of making a little road trip out of it, or anything in the Fairfield, New Jersey area. I'll be there for 2 days. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be headed down past through Baltimore to visit an old friend of mine. And on the way through, I am planning on hooking up with Oz and going to lunch before I head to my final destination. So, if anyone knows of any good toy stores that's in that area, shooting from Michigan to Fairfield, New Jersey, and Fairfield, New Jersey down to what I say, Baltimore. It's actually a little bit past Baltimore, but the suburbs of Baltimore, and then Baltimore back to Detroit. All right. So I will not be doing Thursday movie flashback. That will be Matthew and Ed, Action Face, and they will be doing Silver Bullet. I probably should have loaded that up, but Matthew, Ed, either one of you guys can drop the link to it. Check it out. I'll probably be in there, although I've never seen the movie. Maybe I'll find some time to watch it. But yeah, so it's they're gonna be talking Silver Bullet. I had no idea what it was, and little did I realize it was a werewolf movie, and it's not Teen Wolf, which is crazy. I thought that was the only werewolf movie. So anyway, we will be doing that, or they will be doing that, and then I don't work the following week, so I'll be able to come in and have the show hopefully ready. But I already got my next week's. I already got next week's topic done. It's going to be an easy one, so I don't have to think too much about it. Anyway, and then finally, what I will be doing, it will drop. I'm hoping I'll drop it next Friday, or shall I say this Friday. And that's going to be the Black Friday giveaway, which I will be giving away a custom from Cage's Customs Grunt. It sports some gridiron weapons. It has his normal backpack. It's got the web gear. This is mine. It's got the gridiron helmet. So it's one of these. So this one here. I haven't even opened this one, but it's the same figure that's in here. I'll drop the video. All that you have to do for the video, or for the giveaway, is in the video that I drop, you're going to put your name, which is whatever I see whenever you post something. So your YouTube name. I say your channel name. It confused people. Listen, if you have a YouTube, you have a YouTube channel. You just may not put anything on there. All that I ask is that you're either in Canada or the United States, or have somewhere that I can ship it within those regions in the lower 48. I don't think I'm shipping to Hawaii. I don't think we have any Hawaiian people. Did I say Hawaiian people? Hawaiianders. But all you have to do is put your name in there. You have until Monday. I'm sorry. You have till Black Friday. Right? I think that's more than enough. 8 o'clock, Black Friday, to have your name in. I will not be putting names in during the show. I'm doing a Black Friday giveaway. Probably going to go an hour, which means I'll probably go 3. Look, I've already gone 24 minutes. And I got so much shit to talk about. Anyway, that's how you get. I will put your name in. You have to be there when we spin. If you're not there for the drawing and it lands on your name, you got 1 minute to claim it, and then boom, you get kicked out, and then we're going to spin it again. So, and I think there's going to be a few more things thrown in with that. You can kind of look in the background and see. I might have a few 3D printed stuff that I might want to throw in with it. All right, let's take a drink. So, you guys have been chatting. So what makes this show so wonderful. You guys listen to me. I'm kind of trying to look through this. You guys are communicating with each other. All right. I like to really have things in a PowerPoint presentation. Unfortunately, it seemed like every single print, Every single picture that I had was huge. So when I tried doing slides, they just took up too much space. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing it this way. I'm kind of going to do it the lazy way. I don't really like doing it this way, but the truth is, I just have to. At least for this one. I felt like crap. I was kind of done with it. So we do have a few things to take a look at here. And let's present this. I'm going to share this screen. And all right, so a little bit of McFarlane. We have another Batman. Allison, where are you? You love Batman. Another Superman. And then we got this bunny. So the Superman looks really good. His mullet is nice. It looks like they fixed the awful waist that he had where there was that big giant gap down there. Throwing a signed photograph of Roman. I'm not sure if I get him to sign anything. I do. But this Superman looks good. Now, I do believe he's supposed to come with crypto. I believe that is what Robo from the Foosh was saying, but it's probably just going to be just no articulation figure. So, Paul, man, like, you guys want a lot. I don't even know if I can do a paw print with them, but I can try. I can see what I can do. How about that? Then you got this other Batman, which is a Green Lantern. Again, we're really hitting the stride of Batman, Superman. He's really he's going neck and neck with these things. So, but I think the one that most people, and myself included, just kind of stood out was this dude. Now, I totally forgot his name. This thing just looks awesome. I have no idea what the lore is behind it, what his story is. But yeah, that thing is just amazing. It I look at it, I think the head looks awesome. The texture on the face and everything, if this is how it actually shows up, it's not that bad. Carrot Man or Captain Carrot. Okay, Payne says it's Captain Carrot. Russell also says it. Yeah, so obviously it's Captain Carrot. Again, it just looks cool. Like, this is something, I wouldn't mind having, and you just have it in the back, and someone says, why the hell do you have that? And you're like, why don't I have that? But that was about all the McFarlane news that I had for this week, which is good because I don't always need a lot of McFarlane news. I don't think a lot of us need a lot of McFarlane news. I think we're really getting to the Christmas time. I'm starting to look at what is coming out. Like, what are they going to reveal? Because God knows Motu went absolutely crazy. So this is as we know, this is the part where, oh my God, we're going to talk Motu. But you know what? I'm going to one up all you guys, man. Because we're not only talking Motu, we're talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles also. So these things finally showed up. And, let's just say there's something else. I think some of these look really cool. I have no affiliation to TMNT. I can't even see myself buying too many of these, but I think some of them really, really do work. I'm just kind of brick something, Joker Eyes, Captain Carrot. I'm not sure what's more funny. That Allison's probably pissed that you said that before her, or the actual thought of that. So anyway, so this is where the 67 of you, usually I lose probably 30 of you, not 30%, but about 30 of you. So here's the Beast Man. I don't know what connection he has to any turtle. I know a lot of them are kind of like a crossover, but he's a samurai, and I think this thing looks badass. I've heard some people kind of complain about it. I look at this, and I just think he looks absolutely awesome. Yeah, he has a turtle shield. I don't know why he'd have a turtle shield, right? He's technically, didn't the turtles drop into their universe? I believe that's how it's supposed to go. Captain Vergifted. Did I say that right? I only collect Club Grayskull figures. Well, you know, okay. Anyway, I think this thing looks awesome. They did give him a whip. He's got the samurai head. I love the. It's supposed to be what I believe is supposed to be like pauldrons on him, but I think this one looks really good. I've heard some people kind of complain that it's kind of bland, but I think he's one of the better looking ones. So, what do you guys take on this here? I mean, it actually looks like his. Is it just me or? Yeah, it looks like this. His little whip. Does it move, or is it just the angles that they're using? Oh, it's just the angles that they're. So Sean says it's Turtles in Time. Okay. Shark Guys just booked a trip to Japan earlier. The Samurai Beastman is effing cool. You need to have him so when you go through customs and they check your baggage, you can show them that you are making sure to honor their culture. I work on Japanese copiers, and if they ever sent me there, it would not be good. I would be insulting everyone. Snow Wolf, cool looking figure, not my thing. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's not for me either. I don't believe. Again, a lot of things I cover that I'm not going to be picking up, but I love the way a lot of this stuff looks. Again, another shot of it. I think the helmet looks really cool. I don't know who this turtle is. I know the look of him, and this is the only picture they have. So someone feel free to turn me in. To fill me in on who this is. I think it looks pretty cool. It definitely has that 90s vibe. It actually kind of reminds me of the Sorzork Warriors if they had a shiny paint to them. So, okay, so this is Slash. Now, I don't know. I know I've heard Slash. I know I've seen Slash before because I watch enough other toy tubers that really do follow TMNT. I don't know anything about him. So I don't know where he comes from, what the lore is, but it's there if you want it. Again, this is also going to fit in with your Motu. I mean, I've told you before, all these Sorzork Warriors, they fit in perfect with Motu if you know if that's how you want to do it. So Donatello, obviously mixed with Man-at-Arms. Now, this one just makes sense because Donatello's obviously the computer guy, the engineer of the Turtles, and then you're going to mix him with Man-at-Arms. Now, I'm not a big fan of this purple, and I know he's purple. It just seems very... Maybe it's the green is too dark on the purple. I don't know what it is. I think the whole getup looks pretty good, but when it's put together, it just doesn't really... It just doesn't work. Danny says, why is this line a thing? Is it... I think that they just put them together. I don't think there is any... I don't believe there's any reason for it other than Mattel and I would assume Playmates said, hey, you know what? Or Nickelodeon, whoever owns the rights to TMNT said, hey, let's put these together. Hold on. I do not like making weird noises. More weird noises than I already do. And of course, my mouth, my nose, and everything. Snow Wolf, I believe that these are just the price of Motu figures. So you're probably going to have some deluxe figures, and then you're going to have a few, the regular ones. So $20 to $30 is what my guess would be, which isn't bad. I mean, especially for what we're paying for action figures now. It's not something that I'm going to really complain about. But yeah, I don't think there's any reason for it. Spaded one. Okay, I have never seen you before in the chat. Thank you very much. If you've been watching and this is the first time you're joining, awesome. This makes more sense to collab with TMNT than Stranger Things and Cobra Kai. I can't argue that. Although the reason why they did the Stranger Things and Cobra Kai is because of the 80s thing. But I'm with you. Stranger Things and the Cobra Kai made very little sense whatsoever. There's no doubt about that. All right. Yeah, execs do think, dollars when they're looking at crossovers, but I think it's something that works. And if it gets more people into Motu, I don't think this is going to get more people into Turtles, but I think this could get more people into Motu. It's a win-win for everyone. I mean, Turtles love Grayskull. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, especially when you look at Motu. I mean, it's always silly stuff. So you can see it's going to fit in with the rest of your Motu. So it's clearly meant to be more Motu than Turtles. Now, looking at these pictures, I kind of like this. I don't know. There's something about. I think all the getup looks really good. I just don't like it combined. And he has a turtle shield. That just seems weird. It seems like, I don't know, like he pulled something off his back. It just kind of creeps me out. Then here you see his staff / mace that Windu, that Master of Arms uses. It slides in through the through his shield, which is his shell. So, and here I just kind of put it together so you can see that he's actually holding things together. Motu's not the greatest for holding things together. But, when you're that big, we've seen pro bodybuilders that are just way too big. We often wonder how they wipe their ass. Well, we also wonder how they can hold a pugil stick. Although we all saw American Gladiator, so we know they can do it. But here he is. Again, I think they look pretty cool. That's your Donatello. There's a lot of these. So here we have Krang, right? It's not Kang the Conqueror. It's Krang. And this was pointed out that you pop the body apart and then you pop the little Krang in there. So technically you could use this on probably many, many different figures, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's something that you can really do when it comes to customizing. You can, again, be great for Roboto, for Fakor, anything like that. Like this is great for kids and their, imagination, right? So I honestly don't like they have waistlines and removable shells. The removable shells would kind of just creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the shell doesn't come off of a turtle. Maybe I'm wrong because I'm not a turtle expert. But it just kind of creeps me out. Bobby Wold says, is this supposed to be Whiplash? I don't know. Someone tell me. I don't think so because it doesn't have a tail. So I would say no, it's not supposed to be Whiplash, but maybe I'm wrong. There are some more better turtle and Motu experts that I know that are in here. Yeah, so where's Oz at? Come on. Someone will come in and hopefully answer this question. I'm not sure because I look at that too, but he doesn't have a tail. So your guess is as good as mine. But then you can see just how big he is. Of course, he's gonna have short little arms, like a like a T-Rex, which is pretty cool. I love the chain here that he's just kind of dangling. Now, I don't understand how that would be, but hey, it's all in your imagination, right? Ed says, shells come off turtles. That's how you get turtle soup. God, that just sounds disgusting. I'm sorry. Oh, man, it just sounds disgusting. But I think this one looks really cool. It definitely fits in the Motu look. I could fit in the universe easily. But I don't know who he's supposed to be. I don't know who Krang is supposed to be. Here we have Donatello, everyone's favorite. I don't know why people hate Donatello so much. Guy has 2 samurai swords. But he's pretty boring, to be honest. But the blue tends to work. You got the 2 samurai swords that look very similar to the Sword of Power. It would have been nice had they made it like they actually connect together. But yeah, here's another shell comes off. The shell coming off it creeps me off. It just creeps me out, man. But yeah. What's with it? May I have a Dr. Pepper too? No. My daughter drinks that. It's just so disgusting, man. It's just so damn disgusting. So Leo, he's actually pretty. It's just very boring. This is you're forgiven since you're not feeling well. Are you trying to talk about Dr. Pepper? Oh man, are you kidding, Dr. Oh, I've always disliked that. I was a Mountain Dew guy. Now I'm trying to drink a Mountain Dew, which I still will say is the greatest pop ever. But if I get through one, it's just it's so sweet now. We could talk about that for hours if we really wanted to. All right. I looked at this figure and he looks more, even though you can tell he's obviously an origin style figure. He looks like he should be like a 6 to 7 inch scale figure with all the stuff that's on him. I don't know why it just comes off that way. There's a lot different about him, but there's not too much that's different. So just not a big fan of Man-at-Arms, who I think is seriously one of the coolest figures that is in Masters of the Universe. So, but here he is. He's got a shell. He's got his armor. Again, I think there's a lot that's really cool to these things, but this one just doesn't do it for me, which drives me nuts. Am I starting a fight with this? Danny says 7-Up is good for a sore throat. I'm not a 7-Up fan either, but this I agree with 100%. Arthur said Dr. Pepper is the greatest. I do not like coffee. I drink ice caps from Tim Hortons, which is iced cappuccino, but I do not drink coffee. I love the smell of coffee. I cannot stand the taste of it, which is weird. Because I'm not hating on it, that's for sure. So, Hurricane Alive. I had a pepper last week at Arby's. Wasn't bad. I have Arby's a lot. I really like Arby's. And if you get their cheese sticks, their mozzarella sticks fresh, they are so good. Whew, so good. Anyway, here's enough of the Man-at-Arms. Mossman. Now, this is really one of the most unique ones. And Ted, if you're watching, somebody get back to him. There is going to have to be there's got to be an episode of Moss Man with this Moss Man. Someone might have to flock him. I don't know. But this thing has some very unique stuff going. And I got to say, it's very unique. As you pretty much have a big flower for a head, but he's translucent, which is also pretty cool. So I need to see this. Yeah, Nolan, I'm with you. Like, he's very unique and could fit in like different types of displays. Oof, my gosh. Yes, he needs a good flocking. I agree with that. 100%. If you're gonna do that, too bad it's a stupid Walmart exclusive. So, like here, he looks very but there's other shots like here. You know, it just shows all the different things that they're actually doing with this figure. So I saw this one and I went, oh, this one's actually pretty cool. I like the way the purple looks on it, but I like the translucent. This trap jaw, I'm so like up and down on. Although I didn't realize they had a mouser on his head. I know people are going to say, how could you notice that? I knew that it was white, but I didn't realize he had a mouser on his head. And you can see you can create a mouser. And the other thing that a lot of people I don't think realize is that he doesn't have his accessories. This is actually Robato's accessory. It's not Trap Jaw. So I think some people were thinking like, oh, well, stuff. These are Robato's accessories that he comes with. I really like this one. This one can easily be thrown into your Motu display, and you just think, oh, Trapjaw has a different armor, and you don't even realize it. Yes, Feed Me Seymour. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. That is for sure. Allison says the Trapjaw Rocks is my favorite of the Turtles of Grayskull. Thanos Capper says my Walmart is where hope goes to die. Disappointment reigns supreme. That's because they're all scared to end up on your Instagram page. They all fight to not go to that Walmart because they don't want to end up on your Instagram page. If you're not following Thanos Copter on Instagram, you need to before he finally gets removed and shown the door and told never to come back because, well, it's bound to happen eventually. All right. But yeah, I really do like the Trap Jaw. This is just an interesting looking pick here. You obviously see where his legs go, but it's actually kind of funny because it looks like maybe his accessories don't go anywhere. Do they go onto his back? Yeah, they don't really go on the back of the belt or anything. They just disappear like Optimus Prime's trailer in the Transformers cartoon. And then we have He-Man. I believe this is He-Man, right? I can't really figure out if that's what people think that it is. Yeah, I don't really know what to think of this one. So we obviously have some what looks like translucent parts to it. I like the fact that he's like kind of busting out of his boot here. Snow Wolf says it's Faker. Well, that makes more sense than it being He-Man. But I thought someone says someone said that it's He-Man with ooze on it. I don't know. Don't worry, Larry or Lawrence. I'll find somewhere to post. I'm sure you will. It's Thanos with a wig. Blind Robot says Mutagen Man. Okay. Like I said, I'm not into all of these. Now this here, he doesn't look nearly as translucent. It's a completely different looking figure. Sergeant Reds, John says, what guy's name is that? I don't know. It's a turtle. It's a turtle Motu crossover. Something that if you get, you'll want to chuck in a Van Dyke along with all your stuff on sale. A matter of fact, where the fuck is my NECA display, John? I'm not asking because I don't want to spend money at your place. I'm asking because I want to give you money and bring home my NECA display. Says he is on the ooze under Shredder's control. Okay. All right, well. Yeah, I just don't understand why, you have this one, which looks translucent. Then you have this promo picture where there's nothing translucent about him. And even here in this picture, he looks like he's translucent inside of his packaging. So, soon. Okay, well, it's not like I'm not going anywhere. Well, I am going somewhere this week, but after that, I'll be back. Shark says, what's cool about this collab is they have thought outside the box a bit to make some unique pairings, not just mash two characters together with some generic accessories and range. You know what? That's what I heard. It was probably Geek Dead Life or either Toy Anxiety that was talking about it. But yeah, what is unique is that they're not mashing them together. It's the turtles are kind of dropped in there, and so they're now like working together. It's not Donatello as Man-at-Arms. So it's not like, Donna at Arms or, Man of Donatello, something like that, So yeah, I agree. I think that that's cool that they've done something like that. And Thanos Captor, I'm with you. Yeah, he needs to be translucent. You can't show that many good pictures and then him not be translucent. That's a Super 7 thing to do. That's a QC issue right there. But yeah. But he has an interesting look. And the hair really makes it sit there. So these are the TMNT Motu crossovers I ordered. Yes. You were going to be surprised. You were going to be surprised when you got them in and gone, what the fuck is this? I gotta say this though, they do make it look like he's kind of like doing like that zombie walk here. So this one I really liked. And I believe again it was Robo that said it, that I never really thought of Ram Man as a ram. And yet here you are, and you're just looking at this going, this works. You see like, the horns here, but I gotta say there is something cool about this. Again, the translucent, if they are translucent, it really pops. It makes it, it really makes it look nice. But having Ram Man, as a ram, now who is this actual figure? Because I would love someone to fill me in on exactly who he is. Had the time, we just get code names. Yeah, that is true. You just get all those. That is right. We just get you do get all just the code names. Captain, would be nice to do a room tour for the fans. All right, so yeah, I will fill you guys in on this. So I'll be doing something very similar to that. So I don't I have a room. It's a G.I. Joe room, but it's all 4-inch figures or 1/18 scale. I don't want to say 4-inch. A lot of O-rings. I break it up. I'll be doing a G.I. Joe room tour at the end of the year, which is the 1/18 scale. Before then, I will be going over all my classified stuff, which is actually in my living room. But I'll be doing it before the end of the year, which means it won't be everything that I have, because Christmas is coming and everything that sits in front of the TV has to be taken down for my Christmas decorations. So I will be doing that. And then I'll do a Motu one, which I've already done, but I just did a quick 60-second one. So But I will be doing that because I know people are interested, and I've always done it. Like I've done it the past year or two, I believe. So if you are interested, you can see some of the the other videos if you go and take a look at it throughout. I post a lot of videos now. There's a lot of reviews that I've done. So all right. Damn it, Larry, get on with the news. Listen, I can only do so much. Do you guys want this to be an hour show? Do you want me to whip through this in an hour and then move on? Where else do you guys have to be on this wonderful Monday night? Oh, look, and Tony Fink stopped saving lives to come and complain. So anyway, Ram Man is absolutely awesome. Didn't anyone ever explain or say who he actually is? Because that's what we need to know. I'm just interested to know what character this is supposed to be. That is also, there must be a Ram in TMNT. So, but I do think this one looks really good, and it's a great looking crossover. So I could see if you find this one on clearance, but who knows? I mean, you never know what you're gonna get. All right, and then we have Raphael, right? Raphael had the size. If I'm wrong, someone tell me and tell me it's Michelangelo. I can't remember the two. So I always like Donatello and Leonardo. He's just Ram Man from Motu that gets mutated by. Okay, all right. All right. So what you're saying is some of these are actually getting mutated by Shredder. So technically they're all right. I get it. Okay. All right. I get it. Thank you. That makes sense now, Brick. I bet someone's explained this, but listen, I spend so much time on YouTube that I can't be on everyone's as much as everyone wants me to. And I hear about it, that I'm not on certain chats or whatever. Like, I have to have a life too. Anyway. Cobb says, looks like the Motu heroes all get mutated. The turtles fill the roles of the masters. Yeah. Other than Man-at-Arms. Yeah. You're anyway. So this one I found interesting only because he has nipples. I literally just noticed he has nipples. He's got big, red, giant steroid nipples. Anyway, but if you look at his sai, it looks like He-Man's axe. Just the design of it. So I found that pretty interesting. Then he has the bigot. He's not a bigot. He has the biggest sai hand ever, which I just think looks stupid. But hey, it's a toy. Brian says, I wonder if there will be a limited edition comic book series. You know what? Well, hold on. You know what? Do you mean like in the with the figures? Because we should be able to see if it's in the back of the figures, or do you mean an actual comic by like Marvel or DC or whoever has it? Buckethead. So this one looks good. I think this head actually looks pretty good. Again, it's got the stupid shell off, and he's showing off his laser nipples. This looks better. So I don't mind the way this one looks. Although, why are his bare feet showing and he's got the He-Man? Okay, that's just weird. All right, and then you have Shredder, who has the Hordak crossbow. They really love this Hordak crossbow. There's absolutely no doubt about it. It's like some of these other companies that just absolutely love one specific weapon. But yeah. Shredder just looks like, well, Shredder. I mean, I don't really know what to say other than he has, the Motu waist and Hordak's crossbow, but he just looks like Shredder. So I don't know if he's supposed to look different or have anything. Cape looks pretty cool. But yeah. And then here's all the figures. So if you're interested in any of them, there they are. That's all the Motu stuff. That was a lot of stuff. And shocker, you guys didn't go anywhere, which is good. It means that I can talk Motu and not everyone disappear. Or can you? I don't know. All right. So I'm just kind of going through here and seeing what everyone says. Oh, Tony, you love it. All right. It's not like you have to be on the stream and talk about it when you don't care about it. You just have to sit back and not save lives while I'm talking about it. Brick something. We need more figures with laser nipples. You know what? It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, right? I mean, there are other. I mean, you probably don't want your girlfriend or wife to have laser nipples. I mean, it could be dangerous. Although there's a good chance that Thanos Copter does something with laser nipples. Matter of fact, I've said laser nipples so much that Thanos probably already has ideas of when that figure comes out of things that he might do with it. And quickly, not much with Marvel right now, but they did release a picture of her. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name. Someone in the comments, please tell me. This is what happens when you do a show alone. You forget a lot of things. And then people watch the replay and they go, "You don't know that name?" And you go, "Dude, like, yeah, no, I don't." Yeah, Tony, I see you with the He-Man figure. Yes. Not only did he win one, he was excited to win one. So yeah, Tony, we don't want to hear shit about you ripping on Motu. You went out and bought He-Man and contacted Cobb here on how to make it look like he's busting out of it. So you know what? Don't even. All right. Empress. I'm not pronouncing that. Leandra. That's right. That's how I knew the name, but I would not have been able to pronounce the back. Shiar Empress. All right. I vaguely remember her. Again, I collected X-Men and stuff like that for a short amount of time. I will ask here, JLS, do you have a video related to her? Because you have done so many of these wonderful videos. I know a lot of them are G.I. Joe, at least those are the ones I check out. But I know you do drop a lot for other things too, I do believe, correct? So if you do, go check out JLS anyway, man. Honestly, he puts in such good work to what he does, man. So I do not read comic books at all. I used to back in the 90s. I've been out of comics for quite some time. You know what? I loved Age of Apocalypse. Absolutely loved Age of Apocalypse. But I love the Age of Apocalypse and the G.I. Joe comics to a point, and Nightfall series with Batman and different things like that. But yeah, my comic book reading career was probably a 5-year span. I kept up on a lot of the stuff that was going on, watched a lot of the cartoons and different things like that, but I've never been a huge comic book fan. I sold off not everything, because you can't get rid of a lot of the stuff. But so yes. Hope that doesn't make me a poser. But yeah, no, I'm an action figure. That's why I've had I guess basic Chad comics. I mean, I don't know what that consists of. You know, I mean, I had a lot of different stuff, but for time I was just collecting stuff. You know, it's just not my biggest interest. I would rather watch, the cartoon movies of the stuff or cartoons and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's why I've had some people, they snapped at me for the AWOC because I, I said that they use some of the same heads, and I didn't understand why. I didn't understand one of the AWOC figures was a clone, that Blight was a clone, and that I should read the comics. I'm like, all right, dude, well, I'm reviewing action figures and how the figure moves, and so. And Tony's been blocked. Anyway, so yes, that is why I know. That is why I know who she is. Like I said, I vaguely remember her, but that is the reason why. It has nothing to do with the comics, that is for sure. So, anyway, yeah, no, I'm not a comic fan. Again, I do action figures. I like cool plastic. So, and then this popped up either this morning. I think this morning. And I know we discussed this. I think we saw it at San Diego Comic-Con, and I remember saying, hey, who the hell asked for this? And the answer is no one. But they gave it to us anyway. And that is a Universal Soldier. And damn, I gotta say, that looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme. So this is a 6-inch figure, $105. Yes, Roman is downstairs barking at nothing. Although right before we started, he was barking, and I realized there was 2 police officers out there. I think someone had called, and they wanted to be removed from the house, probably with their abusive boyfriend. And that was my guess, because they're carrying a whole bunch of stuff into the car. Johnny Reno says he asked. You asked for it, all right. I will say this: I looked at it and I said it looks really, really good. The cloth accessories look really nice. From what I see on this, the face sculpt looks way better than those Rambo face sculpts that they were cramming down people's throats. I mean, they made 3 Rambos, and I don't think one of them looked like Sylvester Stallone. Matter of fact, we came to the conclusion that one looked like, what was the other actor that he looked like? Scarface. He wasn't mad at them. No, buddy, I'm not doing this right now. I could just use the head sculpt. Yeah, they could. If it wasn't good, ramen would just make it. Now, it looks like he only comes with like 2 different weapons. And is he holding the pistol here? Because if it is, that is an awful hand to be holding the pistol. It just doesn't look right. So, but I think it looks really good. Obviously, it's very thick. I don't remember Universal Soldier. It's been a long time since I have since I've seen the movie. I mean, it's been a long time, and I probably have seen it once or twice. But here, I mean, the hair looks kind of whack, but the face sculpt, I mean, the face in general does look so much like Jean-Claude Van Damme. So I guess then the question becomes, do we get the other figure? Well, we got to be getting his counterpart, right? This face looks kind of weird. Maybe now we're going along the lines of the same thing that we had with Rambo, where he just, I don't know, looks ugly. but it's $105. I don't know if anyone that has the 6-inch, have any of the 6-inch Higher figures come out yet? I know they were damn like Rambo, I think was the first one, and they did like 3 of them right away, right? So I don't know. Were there other ones that they showed off? So, you were going to hell a long time ago, but are you going there tonight for a reason? So here's everything that he does come with. He's 6.3 inches. So he's the same height as General Hawk. Costs a little more. You're going to get 2 hand grenades. You get your Billy Club stick. So I guess you could use that with Shockwave. You get your head sculpts here. The hair looks kind of weird. I have to see how it looks. But again, I think the face sculpt in general looks really good. So, and then you get a stand for it. So they're really going the way of Mezco. Although I feel like Mezco still will give you more. I think he's holding the grenade here. It's just hard to tell. Because over here he's holding the pistol. Anyway, that's it. Haya, I know we discussed this. I know they're trying to jump into a lot of different things. So, all right. Let's back out of this. All right, so what I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to run to the restroom. So you know what that means. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I will be right back and get a little message from these guys.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Mossman, what are you doing back here? Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor. Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice.
Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Bad. Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to HellDopeToys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from HellDopeToys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to HellDopeToys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
All right. What perfect timing that was. I need to get another one of those because, well, sometimes you don't want to watch the same one over and over. So, Ted, Aaron, if either one of you watching, I need my second Hella Dope commercial with Mossman, and he's not gay Mossman, he's just lispy Mossman. It never even dawned on me until someone else mentioned that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's what they were going for. I gotta say, when I heard the 5 subscribers saying that, made me laugh like pretty hard. It just it was just funny. He made it so good. It was funny. So is that this one? Yes. That's Cobra Commander, and I got Snake Eyes back there. Those are from the GameStop. So, and they're really good. Well, take that back. Cobra Commander is really easy to wear. I can wear it with glasses. Snake Eyes, you need to have a small head, like female size or kid size, because you'll fit it in it, but it's going to smash your nose. And you ain't getting glasses on it. So, You gotta appreciate every sub you get. Memes and dreams. Hey, dude, listen, I appreciate every single one, even people that may have just subscribed on accident. It helps you get to the 3,000, but it's really about getting in the algorithm. Once you get to that 1,000 mark and your 4,000 mark, your 4,000 watch time, and you get monetized, that's really where you want to get. And it sounds kind of stupid, and I know some people think like, oh, you know, you're just in it for the money, but believe me, there ain't that much money in this. Not for what we're doing. Anyway, let's move on. And we'll discuss a little Mezco. Now, this came out obviously like a week ago, right? I think this came out before I was on last. I know I did not discuss this before. At least I don't think I did. Anyway, dropped the Joker, which is more like a 60s style Joker. And it got 66 people watching, so it kind of fits absolutely perfect. Again, if you don't have Batman, then it doesn't really fit with him unless you're just a, you know, Joker collector. Then you're going to absolutely love this. Headache says, I subscribe. You seem like you're not awful. I'm not awful. I'll admit that. I'm not awful. I'm better than some people. I will say that. And I'm worse than a lot of people. And I'm not for everyone. And you know what? That's okay. Because if we all sounded the same on any platform, then it'd be a very, very boring ass platform. But I appreciate every single one of you that comes and sticks around. Eric Thurman, my Star-Lord mask you can't see out of right with the lights on. I don't know why I turned my head away. It's not like I'm coughing on any of you guys. Yeah, with so there's no issues looking out, like seeing out the Cobra Commander one, even though it's clear. And if you get close, you can see the face. The Snake Eyes one, it slits. So you can only see so much, and it's mesh underneath it. So it is even if my daughter wanted to wear it, because she hasn't tried putting it on in a couple of years. She's grown since then. She could probably still wear it. You get hot really quick if you walk around like a Comic-Con. So anyway. So this Joker is pretty cool. I believe it was like either $90 or $100. Mezco just does a wonderful job of their artwork, their photography, something that, you know, some companies don't do for certain brands that we seriously aren't really sure of. But it is, I think, a wonderful looking Joker. And when you look at the soft goods, it really works on a character like this. With the purple suit, the hat. This is why I said like a hooded Cobra Commander would be awesome through Mezco. Not getting into hooded Cobra Commander, I'm just saying he would be the perfect hooded Cobra Commander because it would be real, like a real hood. I'm expecting Gotham by Gaslight Batman to ship from Mezco soon. I was charged last week. Yeah, well, you know what? You can have him after I get my fucking roadblock. Okay, Odin? Which is in processing. They said they had till Monday to have it set. And then I asked Matthew about it. He's right here. And he said, yeah, they take up to 4 weeks to ship. Thank you. That's great. I don't care for this Joker. Love Mezcos, but this Batman and Joker, not for me. But the Two-Face is cool. Yeah, again, it's not for me. I just think it looks amazing, though. I mean, that's not like the type of Batman I like. I think this Joker, I mean, he really could fit into a lot of different old Batman, to be honest. But it does look really good. I guess here he's shaking his hand with the little buzzer. I think it looks awesome. I mean, you look at this and you kind of get the Mask vibes from the movie. but it's the Joker, which is obviously way different. And I still can't figure out why Batman just can't beat the living crap out of the Joker. I feel like this should be like one of the easiest villains that he could beat, yet he really struggles. He can beat Superman, but he can't find a way to beat the Joker. That I just don't get. They're just like obviously shooting, some acid at him. Man, they make Batman look like an idiot. I'm happy with my 89 Joker Hot Toys from back in the day. Well, Hot Toy and Mezco were two different scales there. That's for damn sure. And I don't have any Hot Toys, but I have never heard a bad thing about them, to be honest. So, I'm never going to get Snake Eyes. Are you saying you're never going to get them because you don't think they're ever going to ship? Or just because you didn't pre-order him already, or you just don't have the money or want to spend the money on him? All right. Anyway, I think this thing looks really good. Again, it's Mezco, so the quality should be top-notch. Here's everything he comes with. Lots of hands. Everyone loves hands. Hands, hands, hands. Always love hands. You got the people's eyebrow there. And his hat, his little goo, his buzzer hand. So I think he was 90 or 100. He wasn't way over. Again, I think the pictures just look really, really good. So remove this here. Eric says, I ordered him. Yeah, well, you and me both. Gotta get rock and roll first. All right. So let's back up out of this. I still got a lot of stuff to get to. A lot of Mythic Legions, guys. If you guys weren't here for Mythic Legions, you're about to see a whole bunch of Mythic Legions. So much so that I'm going to use their website because no way that I was getting all of that. So a little bit of ramen news here. So if anyone was wondering about the Musk, here are the actual dimensions that he measured out for everyone. You can find it on his Facebook page for sure. So he put all the dimensions here. If you've seen the pictures, if you watched the show last week, I showed this thing is absolutely huge. You're not making things better here, Matthew. But you can see the car, just how big the car is. The sidewalk, you can get 5 inches there. That's what she said. The door, which stands, just under 8 inches. That's what she said. Believe me, she does not want 24 inches. There's all the dimensions, so you can kind of see exactly how it's going to fit with your 6-inch figures. So, again, I think this thing looks awesome. For the price, it's really good. But again, as I mentioned before, you got to eventually start putting product in people's hands. I know there is talk. I believe he put out a thing about people will start receiving whether or not they want. They have the orange charger. If you want the decals put on at the factory, or if you want them to put on it. I don't ever want to put stickers on it. Back to the bread van, the 18 man. I only threw this in here. So here's another picture of it. Here's with a Ghost Rider, but he threw in pictures with rock and roll in it, so you can see exactly how they fit. And I think he's just trying to show you how it looks. And I gotta say, like, that rock and roll, he's not a huge figure. I know he's supposed to be big, but he's not close to being as big as Roadblock or Gung Ho. Like those guys are just really big and they're smaller than Serpentor. Serpentor's kind of understanding, so. But yeah, I think this looks really good. Nolan, I'm with you. I think this van looks really good. It can be used in so many different ways. Again, you can use it in Legends. You could use it in G.I. Joe. You could use it with Valiverse. You could use it with Monster Force, that's upcoming. There's so many 6-inch lines. It's just a plain van that, again, there's not a lot to it on the inside. But the fact that you do have doors that work, including sliding doors, and if it's really $150, it's not something that you go, I can't do that. And it's kind of like a carrying case. It's kind of storage for some of your figures. Yeah, I have to figure out space for all these vehicles. Just leave them outside in the mud, Ed. That's where you like to put your fucking figures anyway, man. All fucking muddy and shit. Just leave them out there. Why don't you build yourself a little fucking cabin outside? You can just leave them out there. Oh, see, you were talking about your fucking doing and thinking about how you're in the mud with that nice cloth cape and anyway. I can't get angry today because I can't handle my throat. All right, so for $20, Ramen designed guns, a new canopy for the McFarlane 89 Batmobile. And also now they have, I think it also comes with the gas caps. Now, I understand wanting guns. I didn't know there was an issue with the canopy. I didn't know that like people were so upset about it. But obviously there are people want to change, and so he created all this stuff so it can just be popped right on there. It's accessorizes right onto it. He's not doing an 89 Batmobile. He's just making, so hey, you know what? If you want to make your McFarlane more classic, then Ed says, oh, they'll be in the mud. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I know they will be. Larry's toys are meant to be played. I didn't say they were meant to be played with. I just, listen, I have O-ring vehicles that have 40-year-old mud on it that's never coming off, and I hate it. All right? I have no problem playing with toys. I don't even have a problem going outside and playing with them. And I think they look really good when someone has them in the mud and sand. Hell, I took mine and I had mine on the beach, right? I had two on the beach. And what happened? I lost rock and rolls. Walkie-talkie. Oof. To each their own, headache. But I think that's one of the worst. Isn't that the super colorful one? I don't know who's going to do. Well, you know what? I take that back. I mean, I could see McFarlane doing it. He is doing those figures right now. So anyway, if you have this and you're like, hey, I need guns and I need a canopy that fits properly. I didn't know the other one didn't fit properly. There you go. I think the guns look really stupid. I'd have to look at it again, but did they were they on little planks like this? I don't know. But they add the CAG set. So that's the gas caps for it. So, but it's only $20. I mean, again, if I don't know, you probably made $20 in shipping and handling. But canopy and guns, there you go. If you have that and you're like, hey, this is not authentic enough, well, now you can make it more authentic for you. Woo! All right. That's the Bat Nipple movie. All right, I don't listen. I hated those two last movies. I didn't even like Batman Returns. All right, it's not a bad movie. I just don't like Batman Returns. I don't know why. I don't like it. Those other two movies are awful. As I mentioned, when we saw the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, had we not gone with two people that we didn't know, we would have walked out. It was such a bad, awful movie in so many ways. All right. So, another second. I'm making different noises. All right. You know what? Doing a live stream on your own when you're not feeling great. Actually, I feel pretty good, to be honest. I feel better now, but you still have a lot of different things going on. Isn't the easiest. All right. So, these popped up. Well, the one figure is on pre-order, but we got a few pictures that popped up from Legion's Con. So I saw these from Cloud Network. So I reached out to her. I asked her if it was cool if I used her pictures, and she said, yes, it is. That's why I put them out there. I'm like, hey, I just want to ask because there are a lot of people that are not like, they don't give credit. So if you're not following Cloud Network, these are her pictures. Check her out. She's also on Dan Who an awful lot. I know she was on with Brick Something. So these are some new figures here. Sparrow's going to be making them. So obviously Sparrow is going to start making some sort of humanoid figures. And I'm interested to see how they are. Looking at least this one right here. If I'm looking at the butterfly joints, they look like they should work really well. My feeling on the G.I. Joes, I don't feel they work very well. I think Zayma and Tomax are actually pretty good, but they need to do better. But with their new butterfly cup, I don't see them changing when doing that style bigger figure. But these ones look really cool. So she took these pictures. Like I said, I reached out to her, asked her, and she responded right away. So it was great. I don't want to just use other people's pictures, especially people I'm following on Instagram. So here are some of the new Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I'm sure Brick and his partner, who I'm just drawing a complete blank, highly articulated, but then we found out that he's a big fan of the Super 7 figures, so he's moderately articulated. They'll probably be breaking these down a little bit more. And here we get the first look at the first female figures. I'm believing these are the first female. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brick. The first female figures in the line. So it really looks like Sparrow is going to be going deep with the Animal Wars of the Kingdom. I gotta say, I mentioned before, I think there's a lot of reuse in Animal Wars of the Kingdom. And I think it's so obvious, and this is not I'm not going to be super negative about it. I think it's very obvious because, you're not putting overlays on them and stuff, that the bodies are very, are the same bodies. But the figures are just so well made. As I mentioned, you can hand this to a 5-year-old and don't hand them the weapons. Do not hand them the weapons. They're sharp, and a 5-year-old will poke its eye out or poke its little sister's eye out. But I gotta say, they're not gonna break. They are well made. They're solid, big feet. They're gonna stand well. So I absolutely love the quality of these figures. So I know we saw a couple of these when we were at PowerCon. I think the actual Paint Masters we actually saw. So Danny says those females remind me of the Grinch. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but they're like monkeys, so they yeah. I think they're mostly these two are monkeys, I believe. But yes, I fully see what you mean by they look like the Grinch. um, and so here was a another shot that she got. I think right now, oh no, there's a few other pictures. So I don't remember seeing this figure, but this is obviously one that is. Was this one being sold? Do you know, Brick? Was this being sold there? Because it's on top of a bunch of figures. And it's obviously different. It has robotic arms. I don't know the story. You're gonna have to follow Brick and Highly Articulated. They go over that and they do a whole thing like that. So Brick says first woman figs, but heads up, they're doing these as a Kickstarter. We'll be breaking down why on Highly Articulated's channel during Monkey Business AWOL Talk Live. Now let me say something right now. This here I have mentioned numerous times about Brick doing this. When he mentions the channel and what he's going to be doing, and if someone, hey, Ed, you probably have a link to it. Post a link to Highly Articulated and Brick's channel. This is okay because we're discussing it. I have a problem. Don't have a problem with someone talking about what they're going to be doing when I continue to bring it up. If you're new to the channel, I hate when people come in and talk about their own channels. But not like this. This is a good thing. Anyway. And then there is this one here. Now, this is what I'm talking about, where you obviously have the same head sculpts. Head sculpts, again, when you're doing the same head sculpt, that's where, things, in my opinion, start to kind of blend. No, you weren't trying to promote. We were talking about it. That's all that I'm saying. Thank you, Ryan. There's Ryan Sweeney. He will also be on Thursday with a friend. The last one that I'll have of the year. And Brick will be on the 7th of December. That's going to round out my Thursday with a friend. So. God damn, Tony, do you like anything? Tony would love it because you can customize them and they're easy. Look at those big giant pins, Tony. You could take them out there and do all kinds of things. He says those ones on top of the box were just meant showing off the pop and swap ability, the head packs, and compatibility with the other one. Yeah, I actually kind of noticed those were the different packs and everything. I didn't notice that with the first pick, but yeah, I did notice that after. But I'm wrong all the time. All right, so up on pre-order at Hella Dope Toys, where if you use the code APUNK, I'm sorry, that's what you use at Entertainment Earth. But at Hella Dope Toys, if you use APWT, APUNK with Toys, you'll get 10% off. They do have this up on pre-order. Now, I think it looks kind of cool, but I'm confused on why they have robotic arms. And maybe I should watch Monkey Talk more. I don't know. I think it looks cool. It's not really my thing, but maybe if I find out a little bit more, I'll be like, that is really awesome. I should get one. But I just, personally, I like the ones that I've liked are the ones that just are more the actual animals that I don't see cybernetic stuff built into it. That they're not the $6 million monkey, or I don't really know what this is. He doesn't look like a monkey. But all in all, it looks pretty cool. It reminds me of Cygor more than anything. But it is up. Well, that's a werewolf, so I guess that goes into the theme of this Thursday for Ed and Matthew. If you read the damn comic, damn it, Larry. I know. Listen, let me tell you about the things I have going on in my life. It's not reading. They need a cartoon, and then I would pay attention to it. But yeah, if you want it, check out Hella Dope Toys. Again, you get 10% off. Here's the size scale in comparison. And there is, God, what the hell is his name? What's the white monkey's name? I love him. I have him. I don't know why I can't think of his name. I can think of Blight. I can't think of the other one. But you see him next to, the Turtles, Shipwreck. I mean, it's like people do that stuff on purpose. Captain America. So, all in all, Pale. Again, it's so easy, and I know it. And I bought it because I really like that figure. He's a Mohawk. Anyway. All right. Oh, we got time. We're only an hour and 45 minutes. Hey, lots of people like Shipwreck. I found that out. I really found that out in the past, year or so, doing live streams, that people really like Shipwreck. I think Shipwreck, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. You all know my feelings on Shipwreck. Shipwreck has one of my greatest stories and greatest moments in my life as a kid. My man, we see a shit character. All right. So, don't think I need this anymore. But we're going to get into some Mythic Legions. Listen, I am not a Mythic Legion aficionado. Headache, are you serious? You really don't know, like, the whole Shipwreck story? I never liked Shipwreck. I'm going to make it really quickly because everyone's going to go mad. I never liked Shipwreck as a character in general. And for Christmas, I got 2 Shipwrecks. I already had a Shipwreck. I got 2 Shipwrecks back to back. So now I had 3 Shipwrecks, and I already didn't like the 1 Shipwreck I had. Then I opened up 2 more figures, and there were 2 more Shipwrecks, so now I had 4. Oh, it's only the second time you've been here? Okay. So, so Christmas morning, you're opening your stuff, and then you get to G.I. Joe figures, and they're back to back. And if you remember back then, it was kind of just made up, a perfect rectangle, so they could be wrapped. So I open it up, and I have 2 Shipwrecks. Now, I already have Shipwreck. I don't like Shipwreck. All right, great. I have 2 more. I figured it was a mistake. I open up the next figures because I know what they are. Boom, 2 more Shipwrecks. Now I have 4 Shipwrecks. 4 new Shipwrecks. I already have 1 that I don't like. Open up again. Now I have 6. Open up the next pack. Now I have 8 Shipwrecks, brand new, and the 1 that I already don't like. And I look up, and if looks could kill, my mom would have just murdered my dad right there. I mean, he would have been dead. And I don't know any better. And then he kind of disappeared, and we opened up a few more presents. And then my mom was like, hey, why don't you go downstairs? And I go downstairs, and there's the aircraft carrier. There's the flag. And the whole purpose of getting the Shipwrecks was so I would have sailors. My dad was in the Navy. So if you have the aircraft carrier, you got to have Shipwrecks. He needed sailors. The point was, I was supposed to get those after I got the flag. My mom figured that it was going to ruin the surprise for me. I was a dumb kid. I just thought someone was being stupid and bought too many Shipwrecks of a figure that I didn't like. But I didn't like Shipwreck in general. He was very boring. The cartoon didn't make him any better. That's the Shipwreck story. But for Father's Day or his birthday, I was able to give him back the classified one. And it was actually really cool to watch him open it up and literally kind of play with it. My dad's not into that type of stuff, but it was pretty neat. So all in all, it was a good thing. But I think Shipwreck's stupid. Anyway, says you weren't dumb, you were just a kid who didn't know any better. No, it was awesome. Like, listen, it is a wonderful story. I absolutely love the story. Like, it was a great moment in my life. Um, but I just remember my mom looking at my dad and like, looks could kill, because she had assumed that I had figured it out. Boy, was she wrong on that. Because I had no clue. All right, so let's get to some Mythic Legions here, so we can get to the topic. But hey, you know what? Listen, if you guys have been here this whole time, you know how this goes. We get to the topic at like 11:30. This show keeps getting longer and longer and longer. Eventually, I'm gonna have to start at 8 o'clock. I'm not starting at 8 o'clock. That was a joke. Anyway, Mythic Legions. You can get all in right now for $550. These things will ship. I think they said mid 2025, which means late 2025. Listen, if you have $550, if you're all in on Mythic Legions, you're going to get a great deal in ordering these all at once. But I got to say this. That's a lot of money. And I'm not an all in, but I tell you what, like, if someone said, hey, you know what, $550, you're going to get, the whole, you're going to get, the whole back end of, the 2025 classified figures, I would do it and you're going to get a deal on it. I would do it because I'm all in on that line. This I'm not, but if you're all in on Mythic Legions and you've been all in on it for years, this is the way to go. You're going to have all these figures that you're going to go through along with a couple animals. So let's go ahead and look at each and every single one of these. I'm going to try not to take too much time because you can really get hung up. If you do want some in-depth look at it, go check out Brick something. He and Action Figs. I don't know. Oz was in it. Yeah, so there's they did a lot of breaking down of this stuff, and there's a lot of figures and a lot of toy tubers that do a lot more with Mythic Legions than I do. But I gotta say, they're just wonderful looking figures. And Brick says those $37 figs end up being 33 roughly if you do all in, plus a bonus exclusive head. Again, if you are all in and you have $550 that you can give to them to not get your product for 2 years, yes. But hey, listen, nothing. I'm not going to. Listen, I'm not going to question anyone that wants to do it. It's just I'm not doing it because I'm not all in. You can still do the mothership. What are you talking about? You can still do it. It ain't gonna fund, but we didn't even check in on that, did we? No, we didn't. Has it gone up anymore? Anyway, okay. So here is Atlas the Conqueror. And I really hate that I can't enlarge this. That's why I really wanted them on slides, but I just didn't have enough time to go through all this. Wonderful looking pics here. I hate this. Like, honestly, like, why? Why can't you just give me a big... I know there's other sites someone's going to tell me about, but hey, Russell, listen. Shh. We'll get there, all right? We'll get to that. Come 2025, there's going to be a bunch of people with bears in their displays for no reason. Again, Mythic Legions are absolutely amazing. I know a lot of people don't like spending the price that they do. You don't get the same. Yeah, you do. If you click it, that's what it does. It just moves to this right here. It just changes, Brick. See? And this thing just fucking moves around. It's annoying as shit. Sorry, hold on. I lost my mouth. No, Brick, no, you're right. I was trying. That's that's kind of the reason why I never put in gridiron stuff, because I couldn't get them to do that either. It was hard to get nice pictures of it. Anyway, the Mythic Legions, again, you don't get the greatest articulation. Now, I do believe that they have changed the articulation, so you get a little bit bigger. I don't know if I can open in another tab. Oh, hey. Good job. Except for it's one at a time. So I have to do that for everyone. So it ain't happening. All right, buddy, we're not doing anything right now. You're okay. You go like 10 hours without going outside. You're good right now. Oh, you just went out. Again, I've mentioned before, you don't get the greatest articulation, but you're not paying for the articulation. You are paying for the paint, the sculpt, the design. These things, I have a few of them, including Cosmic Legions, and I have no issues at all. They look wonderful. There is nothing. There is no issues with these that I've ever seen. The paint is absolutely wonderful. Look at the detail. If you can see it, hopefully you can. With the veins, the muscularity, it's amazing. So when people say, hey, you know what, you complain about Super 7 and lack of articulation, they don't look anything like this. The accessories that they give you are very unique. They give you unique head sculpts rather than give you two head sculpts that look almost the exact same. So, Graph says, hold on. You know, Punk would collect the bears that they had hearts, clouds, painted. Yeah, wouldn't we all? Well, according to Ed, I didn't even talk about any cartoons on that episode either. He just completely forgot about that. Anyway, but this is your Atlas. He is a big giant bruiser. Now, that looks like it's actual fur, or, well, it's soft goods. I'm not going to say that it's actual fur. They do a wonderful job when it comes to their soft goods being mixed in with their plastics. A lot of times the hoods aren't even, they're not soft goods. They're plastic and you can't even tell. So, but yeah, look at that. It looks awesome. I can definitely see myself picking up a couple of these. Now, I have not hit that Mythic Legion bug. I don't feel like I'm ever going to fall into it because it's just not my thing. Because like you said, they're slowly improving articulation. They added boot, calf cuts, and newer figs have more movement overall. And these are contortionists compared to Super. You're absolutely right. And what I liked hearing about this stuff, that they were adding some stuff, is that Super 7 keeps going back to the, well, we want all our figures to still feel the same. That's awesome. That's why no one wants O-rings, because no one's willing to make a change on the O-rings. I'm sorry. You could do better with O-rings. Like having ankle pivots on it. You know, maybe that would change people's feelings on it. And then you have this weapons pack here. Again, you're just going to get thrown in there, but they got little bear face on it, your axes and swords, different things like that. And this is all at Store Horseman. If you're looking to get any of this stuff, will you stop? I'm sure you guys can all hear him. Budvar, is that how you say his name? Budvar. No, this is yeah, so this is the bear, and I think there's going to be lots of bears in so many it's going to be in everyone's display somewhere. I mean, how many G.I. Joes could fight this guy? So this one here, we'll open just to get a good look at him. I mean, he looks absolutely awesome. He's going to be giant because they fit on him. They're 6-inch figures. Yeah, this is one that I can see in 2 years picking up at my shop or do Hella Dope Toys or wherever. Hella Dope Toys will probably be huge by then and probably won't have a code for me anymore because they'll be like, you know what? Fuck the little guys. We are big and bad now. But he looks absolutely awesome. So it's not just that people want a bear. When you look at this, you're like, oh, yeah, we all need that in our display. We need this guy, gung-ho fighting this guy, him eating Cobra Troopers. So here he is in the snow. Ed will be doing this in the snow with him, along with the mud, because, that's the big giant mouth. Now, unfortunately, you don't have a lot of it doesn't have a lot of articulation, like the mouth doesn't open and close. It's kind of like what they did with Timber, but I feel like the G.I. Joe still have a little bit more articulation to it. But the paint looks absolutely awesome on him. It's gonna look awesome in like any display, and this all does come off, so you can just have a regular bear. Because who doesn't want just a regular bear? If I remember correctly, there are the Hitmen, the Bret the Hitman Hart. The Harts had a bear. Their dad kept a bear underneath the steps or something. I don't know. But this thing looks awesome. I think this was the crown jewel of everything that I saw. But he's also pretty damn expensive. But hey, if you want one, there he is. And here's how a figure looks on it. And remember, this is a 6-inch figure, and that bear is fucking huge. So he's not even coming close to hitting, touching the ground. So this bear is worth the $85, at least the price that he's at right now. Just trying to read through some of this. Yeah, dude, have Wolverine fighting him. That would be awesome. Wolverine would look tiny compared to him, which is awesome. So it doesn't have pics yet, but there's a neck attachment to work for it standing up in attack position. There were pics of the. Oh, okay, that's cool. So unicycle mount for the bear figure. Listen, I've coughed so much it hurts. Like, don't make me laugh like that. Damn it. Oh my god. I'm boot graph for the rest of the show because I can't laugh. Okay. We got Broder of. Come on, man. I can't pronounce shit like this. This one looks weird. I noticed some of these kind of look just kind of weird to me. This looks like he's wearing cutoff shorts. I guess when you get a better picture, he's not wearing, but it looks like he's like wearing like Steve Austin shorts coming down to the ring, so he can beat the shit out of like Bret Hart or The Undertaker or someone. But okay, so these pictures look a little bit better. The helmet looks awesome. He's got the big giant wings. It looks more like he has spaghetti, just kind of like hanging out of his beard and everything. Ed says this is one of his favorite of the wave. This is really the first time I'm going through them. I mean, I kind of watched some of you guys, but I was busy, being sick. I know I was ragging on you guys saying like, doesn't anyone work? But I was actually on my way to find out if my tooth had broken, and not only did my tooth break, I had to have a crown put on. and I was sick. I kind of forgot to add in about having to have my tooth fixed. Here's everything they just come with. It's got 2 different head sculpts. And again, unlike some other companies, they give you 2 actual different head sculpts that look absolutely nothing alike, where you could actually make 2 completely different characters out of this. He's got his wood shield, his little axe. So all in all, a nice looking figure. Some more soft goods. Again, they do wonderful with their soft goods. There's no doubt about that. But Broder makes me think of goalie from New Jersey, Martin Broder, although he spelt it differently. This is kind of a creepy one. Take a look at it, a bigger image here. So it kind of has like a scarab on the back, or something very similar. It actually plugs in. So that's where you're seeing the extra hands. It doesn't mean that it's going to have those. You can actually take it off if you like it. I'm just kind of reading through some of these. Well, get some. You got time to get some of these, right? The Yongar. Yeah, whatever. Thank you, but whatever. This one looks weird. Again, they're going very samurai in this, it seems. Or at least some of them seem more samurai than other ones. Correct me if I am wrong, but this is as like very samurai. It doesn't look bad, but it's kind of a scarab looking thing. I think, again, they do such a wonderful job, and it's just their own property. They homage a lot of Masters of the Universe, as we know, but that's because they've done so much work for them. And I've learned a lot about this stuff over the past couple of years. So, oh, it's Bjork Guar. Okay, you know what? If Mythic Legions did a Guar, and it'd have to be odorous, not Boltar or Bolzar or I don't know, whoever he is. That singer, I mean, good for that guy. They moved on, but so anyway, here's some more looks at her. I think this is a her, right? Maybe I'm wrong. So this big scarab here, it looks like it's a scarab. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe they said that detaches. So if you just wanted to have it where it had the 2 hands, you could do it. And here's all the different looks. That is nasty as shit. I'm not bringing that in my house at all. Just saying. Like, that's not coming in my house. But if you guys want to, you're more than welcome. But I don't bring shit like that and look in my house. Another dwarf weapon pack. Okay, come on, guys. I said dwarf. Let the comments roll. We'll give you guys a few seconds to get your little comments in. Oh, you're welcome. I stream every Monday, so if you're ever bored and you want to join in, man. Oh, you're on here? Okay, well, listen. Hey, check out the replay. I'm always here. And headache. Wrong. I need a Donald Trump. Wrong. There's nothing cool about spiders. Spiders are awful. They are the worst things ever. If they didn't exist, I would be perfectly fine with it. I would never go to Australia because they have these things called hot spin spiders. And when people say, oh, they don't even spin webs, I go, that's even worse. All right? Okay, enough about my hatred and fear of spiders. Here's your little dwarf weapons pack here. As you can see, it's got little flames here. It's got a big giant mallet. Who doesn't need a mallet? Their axe. So But this is all stuff that you can get with the all-in. I mean, you can obviously add to it. There it is. Oh, your relatives. That's right. We are almost all short. I ain't gonna lie. Here is the Predator Exiles from Under the Mountain. So quickly, we'll take a look at these. I want to say thank you to Thanos Copter for saying, hey, you know what? Spiders are like nature's pest control. Yeah, but I need the spiders taken care of. Okay, that's the problem. Yeah. Fuck you. That's all I can say. These look really good. I do like these. I know, of course. Yeah, they're short. They're my size. But you're gonna get a 2-pack for $75. Again, they are only single jointed. So again, when people complain and what about the articulation? Yeah, you're not going to get great articulation out of it, but that is just something that is to be expected, and that's not what you're buying. I mean, you got soft goods on this. You have wonderful paint. You don't have a figure that is like, oh, it has 3 different paints on it. So the accessories that they come with, so you're still going to get two heads with it. And again, you can buy that little dwarf accessory pack if you want some other things to go with it. So here they are loaded up. They look kind of tiny, but hey, you know what? Some of us look tiny in real life. Got a little horn here. I mean, look at the soft goods look absolutely amazing. Look at the beard. Look at the facial expression. All the way down to the little hammers that tie the beard together. I don't know what someone explained. I don't know what the all in with the shipping is. Everyone says it's still cheaper than in getting them, but again, you're paying for it all up front too. So they all look really good. I mean, these dwarves are awesome. Backside shot of them. She's kind of hot, not gonna lie. He's bald. He kind of looks like my Uncle Pete. She did that. All right. So let's take a look at this one really quick here. So this is Manisha Cinderhorn. Now, for me, these colors just don't work. And that's just me. I know some people may disagree. But I just don't think these colors work. It looks wonderful for what they want to do. But the soft goods look really good. It reuses the bow, the crossbow that I do know. I just don't like the colors. The teal with the purple, it's just not my thing. But you can see her in an action pose. Here's everything that she does come with. Now, I do like these face sculpts. I think that looks really nice, but I'm not a fan of the colors. They don't all work together for me. But hey, sometimes I'm in the minority, and if you like it, pick it up. You don't think it works for you either? Yeah. It's Dubin's head, cloak, and cape. Different faceplate. Yeah, but it's the colors. That's what I don't like. And then we have Neve. I don't want to go into battle like that. That is not a lot of protection. But women don't seem to be all that protected now, do they? But yeah, all in all, I think this one looks pretty good. Got the nice face, little face marks down here. So it's got a little, what is that? A cat above her, in between her breastises. Knees look really good. I don't know why they have problem. Why not them, but some people tend to have an issue with knees and everything with female figures, but I know people really have an issue with the Motu female knees. So, but all in all, I think this figure looks really good. I like the arrows going into the shield. It definitely gives it a specific feel. Have they done this type of stuff before? Because it doesn't look like they're removable. I would hope that they're removable so you're not always walking around with arrows that are sticking out. Yeah, it looks like there's spots for possibly more. Right there and right there. But all in all, a nice looking figure. Really nice looking figure for what you're going to get for $37. And I think when they're $55 when they come out. So there's Neve. Did I say that right, guys? Tell me if I said it right or wrong. Ed says they're all removable. All right. And they should be. I mean, it'd be dumb for them not to be. And then we have yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce it. Reg Orion. I tried to pronounce it. I don't know why I said I'm not going to try, and then I go and do it. So I think this thing looks pretty cool. I think this is what everyone's been waiting for a Thor version, right? They've been wanting all this in Thor. He's got some. We have goats for his hammer. That's weird. But yeah, looks pretty cool. That face actually looks really good. So this is one, yeah. It's ogre scale, so it's oh man. So it's a big boy. That's why it's $60. And again, I think they're $80 when they come out. And the price may change by the time they come out. That's the other thing that you might want to look at if you're interested in these, is them coming out, them being more by the time they actually hit in 2 years. But all in all, it looks really nice. Wow. Why losing viewerships here, man? I should talk more G.I. Joe. But all these look really good, man. Like, there's just so many of them. So there's a lot to get through today. Brick says all in shipping to California should be around $50. It's shipping from Jersey. So that's not bad. I mean, how much are you saving compared to what the actual price would be? If you bought them all at once, how much would they actually be compared to if you just bought the all-in? So here we have a deluxe skeleton, which I think looks absolutely amazing. I mean, again, the colors that they use, the paint that they use. Again, if you've never picked up a Mythic Legions, I do say this: pick one up. There is no doubt. I mean, it is something that I feel like if you're a toy collector, that you do need to have one just so you can experience and see what it is and see how it is. And I wouldn't say that about a Mezco because, Mezcos you're looking at no cheaper than 80 unless if you find it on sale. But a Mythic Legion, you can find them for $45 to $55. And yeah, that's a lot of money. And again, if you don't have the money, then don't. But I do think that if you're a toy collector, it is something that you should pick up because I do believe it is by far one of the best premium lines when it comes to toys. So, just kind of reading through some of the comics here. Bullwinkle says shipping is $17.85 for all in the $550 price. I just created a fake order, but that could change depending on where you live. Whereabouts do you live? I don't know if you said where you live, but whereabouts? What state do you live? All right. So again, this guy looks good. If you like skeletons, Matthew, might be one you want to pick up. And he looks more than just a skeleton. He's definitely, was a person at one time. Just saw skeletons are people at one time. Anyway, I don't have 4 hours to do Mythic Legions. That's what we have Brick for. Anyway, again, this is Scapula, the Crypt Breaker 2. Oh, she's the second one. Now I'm starting to get slap happy. All right. So there we go. Boom. I think this design looks awesome. Like that face sculpt is fucking sweet as shit. And even the skeleton looks awesome. Like it looks like a real skeleton. North Carolina. Yeah, so yeah, it wouldn't be shipping far from you, like if it's going across to California. But yeah, that's still not a bad price. I mean, again, if you're all in, you pay for it, and then you're not even, you don't think about it. You'll be buying, away. You'll be buying a lot more Mythic Legions by the time that comes around. Oh man. Osank says, all right, crew, got to start getting ready for work. B-Ball have a gooder. All right. Take care. Thank you for joining us. Sorry we didn't get to the topic yet, but you know how this goes. Anyway, we're almost there, though. We're almost there. Nice soft good. So, all right. Only 2 more. And here we have Umbra, the deluxe steed. And look at that dude. He's got a big old horn on his head. You gotta watch where you're gonna put that thing. Brick says the shipping is actually only $31.03, so that's not bad. God knows shipping will go up by the time it comes. So someone else is eating that cost, right? Their horses, everyone talks about. I'm still waiting to get my my headless horseman. I would get it elsewhere if I hadn't already put down $14 at BBTS to get it. It's kind of depressing that everyone has it but BBTS. But then again, I can wait on anything because we spent enough money on toys this year. But this guy looks pretty cool. Again, if you need a horse or a unicorn, I guess for that matter, a black unicorn, here you go. I don't think you'd fit it in a G.I. Joe line, but hey. All right. And then last but not least, this is the Yoshinari Kari. And, well, this guy looks like a little badass here. That face is pretty sweet. I think that looks pretty cool. So, Brick says, real talk, if you have figs in an awe and you don't want, you can offload them easily and make a little to make it worth your time. If you wait 2 years, you can make more if that's your way. Yeah, that is true. Like there's a lot of people that then you're gonna get the price of what people are, what they're selling at. So you can get your money back. And if you wait 2 years for this, you've kind of forgotten that you spent $550 on it. Kind of like I forgot that I spent, $330 on a Hiss tank that isn't here yet. Anyway, awesome shot here. Look at them little horns. Look like he's smoking out there. So, Yoshinari, Kari. I'm not saying that fast. That's for damn sure. I'm at the planning to get through this. It looks like you should glow in the dark. Now, this is one you could do it definitely glow in the dark, and someone would probably buy it. But yeah, there we go. Woo. So this is the Four Horsemen talk. I knew it was going to be long. I knew there's a lot. You kind of don't even realize that there's that much, and it's hard when you're going back and forth. We dropped down like 42 viewers. We had like 70 some when we started talking Mythic Legions. All right. So a little bit of G.I. Joe news. Not very much before we get into the topic, which will kind of be heavy on G.I. Joe in some ways. So let me find what I had here. All right. So the only real Joe news that came out was that it was confirmed that the next G.I. Joe crossover was going to be the Sergeant Slaughter and the Triple T, which everyone had already known, but nobody knew who the Triple T was going to be. And I don't think anyone was really, expecting Leatherneck to be thrown in there. Sell me that hiss. Why would I sell it? I've been waiting for 2 years for it. But I think most know I'm not a big fan of Sergeant Slaughter. He turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA. And yes, you can tell me wrestling's not real, but we know that's not true. If it wasn't real, why would they try and push out Vince McMahon? I was not expecting to hear Leatherneck be thrown in with this. It made sense once I saw the artwork. I kind of forgot that he was on it, but it's still that you're doing Leatherneck, which I think is nice that they're doing other characters rather than just the main characters. Now, Cup, I say is interesting, but when you think of the design of Cup, I could definitely see how they're going to make Cup feel like the Triple T. Kind of had that like flat nose to it. And I don't think anyone was really too stuck on the Cup design. Like, oh my God, Cup has to be this. So I think it actually kind of works. It still leaves, who are they going to do Optimus Prime? There's no way they can stop this line until you at least have Optimus Prime. And the only thing I can see doing Optimus Prime is maybe like Slugger. The Slugger. I mean, he's supposed to be really big, but unless if you do like, let's say an APC where the back disengages, which you could, the back can disengage like the other one, and it'd be a troop carrier, but that thing would be like $200. You can't make him bigger than Megatron. I mean, maybe slightly bigger, but it has to be around the same. And the his tank isn't all that big, so yeah, I guess you could do the Havoc, but the Havoc might work because you really have to make sure that the back would disengage. Because if you transform, if the Havoc was all one piece, he would be way too big. He'd tower over Megatron. That's the biggest thing. Havoc actually isn't a bad call, considering it does have the piece in the back. Well, it's not doing well, but this was something that was already in the works. And I believe this is more of a Transformer side of things than a G.I. Joe side, if you want to know the truth. I believe that this is, if you go and look for these, when they sell them, they're usually on the Transformer side, not on the G.I. Joe side. So, and there's reasons why, there is reasons why Hasbro is not doing O-Ring. It's not just because nobody wants it. There's other reasons to it. But yeah, it's not doing super great. But this is really the only Joe news. Now, there is a little bit more, and it has nothing to do with G.I. Joe. It actually has to do with a company that we've already discussed, and we've discussed a lot, and that is Ramen Toys. And Ramen Toys has dropped the design of their bridge layer. So we got 3 pictures of what the bridge layer might look like, or would look like. No bridge yet. Now, this has a canopy that you put on top of where the 2 figures would be. Now, this is for 6-inch scale. So if anyone's wondering, yes, it's 6-inch scale. You look at the back here, it definitely looks like the bridge layer. Has the dual cannons on both sides. Now, they did change it. They're not offset like the original bridge layer. We talked about this actually Friday night on the members only stream. So if you're not members only, you could have definitely, join and find out. But they did put the top piece on, so they would actually be protected. And here's the front of it. So here it doesn't have the arm yet. Obviously, you don't have the bridge. But I gotta say this, and I had actually mentioned this on the stream, that the bridge layer, as cool as it was as a kid, there wasn't a lot of stuff that it could connect to because it was kind of short for anything that you were doing. But a 6-inch version, that's going to extend pretty damn far. So you could do a lot of sweet pictures where you're not just, as a kid, I was always adjusting couch cushions so I can make it go across and different things like that. So, I never found anything in bridge layer could bridge. That's what I'm saying. Like most of the stuff that it was long enough to go over, you're like, yeah, the vamp can just drive through it, or your mauler can. I mean, I did that little short with my mauler going over some of my weights and stuff, and I used the bridge just because I wanted to use the bridge. I need to pay 2 times retail to get my Joes to India. It's FU when some come through with QC. We're going to discuss that because again, we're going to get into that really soon here. Brick says Toll Boost, Spirit, Shipwreck, Wild Bill. It's fun to play with the YMCA. I'm sorry. I might have to do that now. I might have to do that picture since I do have all those figures. I don't see us getting a toll. Well, you know what? I don't want to say we're not getting a toll booth anytime soon. We're getting a fucking Raptor. Fucking Raptor. Let me come to the fucking desk. All right. So that's it. This is Ramen Toys. They're finally encroaching in on G.I. Joe. Something like this, I don't really think is too big of a deal because I just don't see them doing a bridge layer. It's a very unique 6-inch vehicle that you would do. But yeah, I don't see them doing it. So I don't think we're going to have too many issues there. So that's the only Joe news. So if you guys have anything else, you can mention it. But give me 1 second. I'm going to go blow my nose really quick, and then we're going to get into the topic. Look at that. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Not that bad, guys. All right. So let's get into QC. And the reason why I bring this up is I see a lot of stuff online, and I sometimes wonder if people understand what QC issues are. Now, there's a lot of issues that people perceive to be QC that are not QC. It's how they're meant to be made. We're just unhappy about how they are being made. And what I mean by that is the soft weapons. Now, this is actually from the EO. Okay, but I know when I got my torpedo in, this thing was just bent, and it is super soft. It's actually started to harden up. Now, a lot of people perceive the softness to be a QC issue. The softness is not a QC issue. That is what the factory wanted to do it at. Now, the issue was the designers want them to be thicker or be a harder durometer so they don't move. But that's not a QC issue. The QC issue is not that they're too soft, that they're bent, like Storm Shadow's bow and arrow. That's actually what they were looking at. That's what came out of the factory, and that's what the factory wanted. So that's not a QC issue like so many people think. That's something that we don't want. But it's actually made exactly how it's supposed to be. There are some issues that the designers don't want that. But I mentioned this before when it comes to stuff like G.I. Joe. Just Hasbro in general, it's not the same as Mythic Legions, Valaverse, Boss Fight Studios, somewhere where they are actually a small company. They can reach out to the factory and say, this needs to be taken care of. Now, that right there is, again, corporate is different than everything like that. Quality control is a defect that's been overlooked at the factory. Yes. And again, when people perceive that the soft weapons being an issue is QC, it's not. They're supposed to be this soft. That's how the factory wanted it to come out. It's not how the designer. That's, again, it's an issue between the two of them. Now they're able to straighten up and obviously be, fixed. I mean, this one isn't all that bad, and we've seen way worse. There's no doubt about that. So that's not a QC issue. The original Valaverse figures and other figures in general that need to be heated up, that is not a QC issue. That is just the plastic and how it's kind of hardened together. It's part of the game. It's part of this collecting. And I know people absolutely hate that. But when people say, I didn't have to do this in the 80s, man, that's not exactly true. Because I've mentioned this before. I had this fascination with my sister's Care Bears and even my daughter when I got them. Like, I would move the heads and they make that popping noise and the arms. And that's because the plastics are sticking together. O-rings didn't have that issue because they were a different type of plastic. Yes, shitty by design is not, and that's exactly what that's exactly what I'm saying. So, but you don't want the O-ring. You don't want that O-ring plastic. I know people talk about, like, I didn't have the problem with the O-rings. You also had thumbs breaking like crazy. You don't want thumbs breaking and crotches breaking. I'm pretty sure. Nobody wants that in 6-inch figures. Andrew says, soft weapons is not QC. Soft backpacks that won't peg in is. Yes and no. One is a design decision. The other is a functional problem. Okay, so the backpack If the pegs won't peg in, yes, that is a problem. One of the problems with people talking about QC with the backpacks, at some of the figures, I don't have any up here, is that really the backpack, he doesn't count so much. He doesn't really have too much of an issue. In my opinion, the hole is up too high. When on some of these figures, Tunnel Rat is one of them. Well, first off, the hole isn't. God damn it! I can't say anything without sounding like fucking sexual. If the backpack hole isn't deep enough, first off, that peg isn't going to go in. As we know, I don't need to explain that. But I think it's too high up for one thing. That's a design flaw. In my personal opinion, it should be a little bit lower to where the back is flatter, not up high. So it really came down to when I was reviewing Hawk and his arm fell off. And the first thing that I thought was, shit, dude, here we are. But when I looked at it, and when you look down inside there, these pegs are made just to pop right back in. Now, the bad part is this thing is going to get lost. You really got to, especially for kids. So this is called the Butterfly Cup. Now, I spoke to Lenny about this, and he explained everything to me. And yes, some people did tell me in the review that other figures had this. One guy specifically said, thank you very much. Thank you. I don't do any research. I don't know shit about this. But anyway, and that's when I found out that the arms will drop down to move into place. And he said that is the new design. And he specifically said that when we designed that, we knew that more arms were going to pop off, but they're meant to pop back in. So you look at Motu, right? Motus have always been known to do this. They're specifically made like this. Now, I think one of the biggest issues is that Hasbro doesn't have their team go out and tell them, hey, you know what? We need to fix stuff like this. Okay? We need to get out and explain to them, hey, you know what? This is the new Butterfly Cup. It has a ring inside. It's going to move around. The arms are going to pop out more, but they're also going to drop down and open up properly. But sometimes the arms are going to pop out. And like a Motu figure, it just pops right back in. So it really had me thinking after seeing Downtown 77's video, where his mole rat, he had a few of them where the arms kept popping out. And I went and checked out my mole rat about the arm, and sure enough, it does move up and down a slight bit. And if you slide it down, it will go into place like it's supposed to. Now, like anything, the arm will probably start to get loose. But Big Ben, Snow Job, Snow Serpent, they're all using this already, and there's going to be more. But what happened with my Hawk in the video, and that's how I found out about this, and it's not a QC issue, and that's how it's meant to be. And it's perfectly fine. I wish they would do a better job of getting out in front of it and telling everyone. But unfortunately, you know, a corporation is, when you work for a corporation, you're kind of bound by what they allow you to do. And I don't know why they're so worried about this. So, he says, I opened 5 more rats and 4 have the issue. But that's what I'm telling you. It's not an issue. That's what it's supposed to do. All right. Now, conversely, my issue, and I'm not going to take it off because I have it on properly. Now, the issue that I had with her, and if you watch the video, you'll know that, well, you can see that the arm will come out. I have to specifically move it. So, fuck it, we'll just pop it off. So this is broken. This is a QC issue right here. God damn that light. That is a QC issue. That ring is supposed to be together, and you don't have that problem. This, my friends, this is a QC issue. And I was able to manipulate it. I'll probably end up getting another one of her. Now, I contacted BBTS. They refunded me. BBTS, if you do get something from BBTS, you're supposed to contact them. Not Hasbro, them. They're the ones that will go back to Hasbro. Going back to CoverGirl. Someone brought up my CoverGirl on the one arm. Now, the problem with something like CoverGirl is, you're right. That is a QC issue because it's designed that way, and that's why some of them have a problem and some don't. I don't have any issue with my Zarana. My arms are perfectly fine, but I've seen more than enough videos and pictures online to know that Zarana has that issue. And a lot of that issue is the fact that when it's molded, it doesn't stay on properly. It's not even set up properly. It's going to pop off every time because obviously what they showed them doesn't work. Some of them are good, some aren't. That's where you start to see, hey, you know what? This is definitely an issue. The issue with Firefly, super loose torso. That's a QC issue. All right, they shouldn't be that loose. Now, I've also mentioned it doesn't really bother me all that much because it also has a ratcheting system, so he stays in place. But all in all, should he be that loose and wobbly, along with Arctic Storm Shadow? Again, if you have Arctic Storm Shadow, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very loose. Are your Alley Viper arms okay? I've never had an issue with that. QC issue here. Viper 3-pack. Some of them coming with black arms when they have white necks. And I had a huge argument with a lot of people that told me, hey, you know what? If you don't take off the gauntlets, and you're not supposed to, I was like, you know what? Look at the back. Look at the back. They show them without the gauntlets on it. They're not supposed, they're meant to come off. That was a QC issue. That was out of the factory, them not giving a shit. And again, I don't want to say, I'm not blaming anyone on the G.I. Joe team because this goes past them. This is, they okay a specific thing. They need to have, quality management up there that's taking care of this stuff. And it's bad that it's coming out of the, like the stuff like this comes out of the biggest company. Paint, that's wrong. Now, I don't have an issue with my Crimson 3-pack, at least not that I remember, with the faces being off. I know a lot of people have. That's a QC issue. When the paint gets put on wrong, when the eyes are shooting somewhere different. But I think a lot of times people see something and they think it's a QC issue and they're not paying attention or they're not understanding. This gun being as warped as it is, that's not the QC issue. A QC issue would be if the gun was cut wrong, if the stock wasn't on properly. Our issue is that they're using really soft plastic, which is warping and fucking this up. But it's the plastic that the factory wanted to use. That there is the problem. And so that's not a QC issue as much as a, hey, you know what? You need to use a better product. Now, I'm not trying to absolve. I'm not trying to make excuses for Hasbro when this stuff happens. I agree. They should be using a harder durometer. I don't believe they should have to fight with the factory as much as they do. Doesn't make any sense to me why you have to fight with the factory to say, dude, we want harder fucking weapons. But we don't want weapons that are hard like Mythic Legions, NECA, Valivers. that takes away from their 4+ what they're shooting for. Sorry. Everything's starting to dry out. All of my Crimson Viper necks were put in sideways with the heads on incorrectly. It was an easy fix, but just strange. Be4 figures straight out of the box. There was also an issue with a lot of the eels that their necks weren't in properly. I didn't have that issue with either one of mine, but there were a bunch of people like that. There is a QC issue, like that things aren't being put in properly. They're not being put together. But yeah. Let's see. I don't know, Pug. My Crimson Alley Vipers have a hard time doing the T-pose and don't really go flat against their sides either. But that doesn't make it a QC issue. A lot of times that's how it's designed. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't be upset with how it articulates. That's not what I'm saying, or that something or that you don't like something. But sometimes that's how things are designed, and we're just unhappy with it. It doesn't make it a QC issue. A QC issue would be saying, like, when yours don't, but you look at everyone else's, and everyone else is doing things that yours won't. And when you look at it, you're like, oh, I haven't had it happen to me, but I've seen enough of it online where some of the plastic is actually kind of like melted together. That's a QC issue. That's where the problem comes from. Yes, a missing item from the box is QC. There's no doubt about it. It's a different type of QC issue, but that should be like your final step, that they're looking through it and making sure everything is there, and then you have the right stuff. So yeah, that's quality control. But again, like when it comes to like the weapons being too soft, that's how the factory, again, this, from what I was told, it's not what the designers want. It's not what the team wants, but it's what the factory decided to. And, again, they can only do so much. Where let's say someone like, I'm going to use Bobby, because Bobby Valla, he's out front more than any other company. Let's say he got the weapons in, right? Let's say he got a box of, he got his figures in. He opened those up and he's felt that those things were off. He can contact them directly and say, this is wrong. This is not what we agreed upon. We wanted this durometer. You changed it. Something needs to be fixed. Unfortunately, when it comes to Hasbro and you're working with 4 and up, and I know a lot of people, they don't like hearing this because they automatically assume you are making excuses for them. And I'm not. I'm sometimes pointing out points that make you feel like you're feel like you're making excuses, but you're just pointing out facts. But there is, there's levels. You can't just speak to whoever you want when you're in a corporation. You have to go through the chain, and it sucks. Hold on. I'm like really at the end, man. Yeah, exactly. Hasbro shill. Believe me, I've heard it. I mean, I have heard it recently, and it's like, just listen to what I'm saying. Believe me, I'm not trying to say that they don't have any problems, because damn do they have problems. But again, and it's not just them. There are other issues with other lines and other companies. Hasbro is just the biggest, and it definitely seems to come out. But it was just something that I had noticed. And this whole new, and again, this butterfly cup, it's not something really new. I've had a bunch of people kind of yelling at me in my reviews, saying, oh, McFarlane knows this. I'm like, I didn't say it's brand new. It's new to the G.I. Joe team. And I'm sorry that I missed it, because I really didn't have any issues. Because in theory, when it moves, you're supposed to be moving it where it goes down. But rather than when you're trying to do the T-pose and where the hinge is, rather than the hinge hitting the top and it not going all the way up, it drops down. But he was very, adamant, like, or very not adamant. Adamant's the wrong word. He was very knowledgeable in knowing that, that's how it's supposed to be, and we knew that some of the arms are gonna pop off, and that's just kind of the deal. But we'd rather have the arms pop off than break or not do what they're supposed to. I would say my biggest issue is that little cup on the inside. That's what people are going to lose, especially if kids are playing with them. You can say these aren't made for kids, but they make them for kids. That's why they're 4 and up. I don't think that they should. I think they should go to a 13 and up, so they can say that they're collectibles. They can sell harder weapons. They don't listen. The weapons do not need to be as hard as. No weapon needs to be as hard as NECA weapons. All right, you get some of these NECA things, and you try and put stuff in there. And man, you're like your hands are hurting trying to push that down. Fatrid says, when I was a shipping clerk, quality was involved in packaging as well. If the customer got damaged parts because of something to do with packaging, that whole department descended to our dock. So there's that too. I mean, I did that whole video when I got Storm Shadow and Zartan in, the retros from Hasbro Pulse. And they just crammed them in a box. And we saw way worse than what I got. Baldy had, literally cars that were just fucking bent. It was ridiculous. That is a QC issue. That is, and I did a whole video. Hasbro Pulse doesn't give a shit. Now, Hasbro Pulse is different. Understand that. That warehouse is different than Hasbro. And the problem when it comes to Hasbro, the problem with, you tell him, Roman. Okay, so Roman agrees. All right. I did not teach him to yell at the bar price at Hasbro. No, I don't. But Hasbro is the one that really seems to be having issues where people point out the QC problems. The other company people point out QC issues is Valaverse. Unfortunately, Valaverse takes care of most of their QC issues. But yeah, no, I do not work. I don't get free stuff from anyone. Headache. I don't know if you're trying to be joking or whatever. I just point out facts. A lot of people don't like to hear facts. It hurts people. If you point out facts that don't align with what people want to hear, they assume you're being a shill. It believes, if you point out facts when you're, again, I don't get into politics, but if you point out facts when you're talking about political stuff, it automatically assumes that you agree with that party rather than, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. You're pointing out certain things. Doesn't mean I agree with it. I don't agree that these weapons should be using such a soft durometer. Oddly enough, I haven't really messed around with this. It's been sitting up in my display. It's actually straightened itself out, or it feels harder. God damn it. But it's also getting colder out too. But yeah. God damn it. Where like this, so this bow and arrow came in so flimsy, and it still is. Again, that's how it's supposed to be made. I don't agree with it. I wish they were using a harder durometer when it comes to their weapons. They did it in the beginning. It's not a problem. But it was specifically mentioned to me that this is one factory. Understand this. I don't know how much this has affected everything. Andrew Taylor, Hasbro Pulse is largely a third-party fulfillment service. In many ways, yes. They're getting the stuff from Hasbro. They are part of Hasbro, but you are right. They're pretty much separate from them. Shit. I should not have done that. So now I lost my train of thought. Oh. So I don't know how much this really affected things. But I know Ryan Dreadnought Ryan has mentioned this. And it was specifically mentioned to me. Now, I don't know how this changes everything. Cobra Commander, that is not, listen, that is not nice. Roman is a Hasbro shell. If he's still paying attention and he's still on his YouTube account, he may have something to say. When your dog started to bark, my dog was laying next to me, woke up and looked at me like, what the fuck? You know, Robert, you're not the first person to mention about when they hear Roman and stuff like that. Yeah, even Roman's angry. That's right. So, again, I don't know how much this changes everything, how much has changed things, but I do believe that it did. When Hasbro decided to reboot their starting lineup, which was a mistake. I mentioned it before. Nobody wants action figures that are sports. They want like statues that are, they want Michael Jordan shooting. They want Steve Eisman, shooting the puck. Sergei Fedorov skating. Miguel Cabrera hitting a home run. They don't want to pose themselves. But when they decided to do these awful starting lineup figures with overpaid man-child, they moved that production to, from what I understand, to the best plant, best factory in China. Like anything, there are multiple factories. You would think that Hasbro has their own factory, but they're not making, there's multiple factories that are building this stuff. And places like Valiverse, I want to say Valiverse, Mythic Legions, might even be Boss Fight Studios. They all come out of the same factory. There's a lot of people that use the same one that Valiverse does. There's some that are just like, boom, they do action figures. But they moved all the production of everyone else out of this factory and produced the starting lineups. So the best factory in China was producing these starting lineups that nobody wanted. And we see this because they're $13 at fucking TJ Maxx. Nobody wants the shitty things. And the other ones got bumped down to other factories. Now understand, these things are, they're not producing these, and it's not like the ones that we're getting, they just produced, they just got out of the factory. They've been sitting in warehouses. They have street dates. They have specific dates of when they want them to come out. They talked about pushing them up. They're pushing them out is what they're doing. They have them sitting there. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of stuff end up at Ollie's and TJ Maxx and different places like that. Hopefully someone with the starting lineup will be like, all right, start all over. We need to rethink this. And they can go back to producing. Well, I don't really give a shit about the other lines. They'll go back to producing the G.I. Joes out of that factory. Because from what I understand, it's supposed to be the best, one of, if not the best, one of the best factories in China producing figures. And maybe that's where some of them are coming out before, where we didn't have the really awful weapons and the soft, because the original weapons, whether you like them or not, they weren't as bad. And again, I don't understand why they were having a problem with telling them, no, change this. Now, that's something that I don't understand. Yes, some things get mentioned to me. I don't understand working, how the corporation works. Again, there's certain things to me where I don't understand why there is any type of why it's not a fucking democracy. We want this durometer, this is what you need to make it at. End of story. All right. But there's all this stuff that goes back and forth where, they have to fight with certain things. All the way back to, I'll just say this. I can't talk about it, but I'll tell you this. That Falcon was not supposed to look like that. Okay, end of story. That's it. I'll go no further than that, but just know that we're not the only ones that are unhappy with the Falcon face sculpt. All right. And I understood what was told to me. I just didn't fully understand why it wasn't able to be rectified. But I also understood what the problem was. And it's one of those weird ass things. One of those weird ass things. And again, that's life in a corporation, right? I mean, again, I'm willing to bet that if you talk to a lot of designers for cars and shit, they'd be like, yeah, that wasn't supposed to be like that. But this was where they decided they were going to cut the budget. This is where that Chrysler decided, yeah, you know what? For the longest time, we're okay with plastic. I mean, just complete plastic dashboards. Where GM and Ford has started to use nice soft leather and everything. So, quickly here, let's see. Danny says, I want the fridge back in G.I. Joe, so I respectfully disagree with your point about sports action figures. Okay, well, I didn't listen. You don't want the fridge as a bear, though. You want him as a G.I. Joe figure. From what I've heard, the reason why, and I'm not saying they would rush out and do a fridge, but there's a lot of issues from what I understand from his estate that won't allow people to use his likeness, including G.I. Joe. And now that makes no sense to me. It's just stuff that I've heard. But that makes no sense to me because I don't know why he wouldn't want to make a paycheck. The guy's not doing well, from what I understand, financially or health-wise. So you would think that you'd want to be anything to be thrown out there. So anyway, let's see. Ed says, because there's some suit at Hasbro that talks to the head of the factories, and for them, it's about the dollar, not the passion. Exactly. You know what? You probably just said it best. That's exactly what it is. And when it comes down to everything, whether you like it or not, Four Horsemen, they sell their product. It goes back into their pocket. Now, again, when I say their pocket, I do mean the pocket of the company, right? Valaverse, Boss Fight Studios, all these smaller companies that are, that are getting out there, right? When it comes to Hasbro, the argument of, and now we're getting kind of off the topic of I think you guys kind of get the gist of the QC. When it comes to Hasbro, Mattel would be the same way, but Alice has discussed this. You know what? Mattel doesn't ever put anyone out in front. They put a product out. That's it. Hasbro puts people out there, so of course they take the brunt of it. Now, whether or not people like to hear this when they say, you know what? Someone said that these figures are no more than a $5 figure. Classified figure is no more than a $5 figure. I don't know what fucking world you live in, but where do you get that it's a fucking $5 figure? Honest to God, it makes no sense whatsoever. And if you try and say the O-rings were $3 fucking bucks, I'm gonna say, yeah, dude. Again, 40 fucking years ago. Look, now I'm starting to swear, so I'm getting animated and angry. So, first off, here's where it comes. First off, people act like, oh, Hasbro's charging $25. They get $25 in their pocket. It doesn't work like that. Guess what? Target has to make their money, right? Hell, Dope Toys, they have to make their money. BBTS, Walmart, right? Your local toy store. They're selling them for $25 to $30. They have to make they have to make their money. So okay, so you already have to drop down that $20 or that $25. Nobody, not right now. Okay, so let's say they're making $4 a figure. So let's say it's $21. All right, you're going $21. Take into consideration when it comes to Hasbro. Just think about this. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. Just understand how a corporation works, how corporate America is. Lenny and his team, they have to get paid, right? Yeah. That's all the sculptors, the designers, right? Okay. And then you have all the factory workers. Now, don't get me wrong, we make jokes about how much they make, but you do have to pay them. You have the factory managers, right? And then technically you do have quality control. Now, maybe they need to hire better quality control for much of their stuff. But then you have your shipping costs, right? They have to get across the sea, right? But now you have the suits, just like Ed said. You have the suits that also have to get paid, whether you like it or not. That's why you are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They also have to get paid at some point. And that all goes into it. The stockholders, they need to make their money. I don't care that the stock is going down. There still are stockholders. So in the end, when you think about it, yeah, they're making more. So sure, their cost per figure is less, but they also have to pay more people. Now, you can like it or not like it. People don't like the fact that I can't buy a Dodge Ram that's nicely loaded for under 60 grand these days. I don't like it. I would love to go out and buy a Dodge Ram, and get one for 40 and be fully loaded and be the most expensive one on the lot. If I buy a truck for 40 grand, it's like basic as shit. I might get 4-wheel drive. It's little things like that people don't take into consideration. They don't want to because it doesn't affect them. And that's understandable. You don't want it affects your bottom line, and that's what really matters to you. But at the same time, people have to understand how things actually work. And that's how corporate America works. And that actually leads back to the QC, is that, yeah, like there's certain things that they don't care about. And it's unfortunate. I can tell you that everyone on the G.I. Joe team, everyone on the Marvel team, they care about the stuff. But your hands are tied, unfortunately. Hey, Zoran, how are you doing? Hello, dog. Dog is Roman. I love when people can't remember. Dog. But anyway, that's just, again, I want to discuss the quality. I wanted to really discuss, the arms. I'm not a big fan of the arms popping off just for the fact that I don't do customizing. That's not my big thing. That's Tony. That's, Cage's Customs. Johnny Reno. Sorry, I couldn't think of your name, Johnny. I couldn't think Cage's Customs. No steroids. No steroids. You're not getting any steroids from me. No. I'm on no medicine at all. But anyway, he says it's okay. But yeah, that was just kind of my thing where, and I'm not trying to insult everyone. There's a lot of assholes in the G.I. Joe forums. There really are. And they don't understand the difference between the quality control issues that they're bitching about. Again, we get these weapons that are just completely bent. And yeah, it's unacceptable. I mean, I've said it numerous times. But it's really not a quality control issue because that's what the plastic that the factory wants to use. It's not what the design, what the team wants to use. But in the end, it just becomes this fight, it seems. And I'm only privy to a few things. And again, I also, I hear other things that some stuff I can confirm, other things that I can't confirm, and there's other things that I can't talk about. And it doesn't really help you guys out. But let's just say, kind of like Chris McLeod. Like if Chris McLeod tells you something about G.I. Joe, he's from the Full Force. He's in the know, and he's gonna be right way more times than not. That's just the fact. They tell him things, just like I have a rapport with, with the designers, who is a designer. You know what I'm talking about. And again, before people start saying, "Oh, you're in the know," you did no. It's just you live by the Dalton rule from Roadhouse. Be nice. You're nice to these guys, and you ask them questions that they can answer. They have no problem, reciprocating and talking to you and just telling you stuff that they're able to talk about. There's a lot of people that go in there all belligerent and just start going right at them, and they don't understand, like, man, I don't show up at your fucking work and bitch at you about shit. Why the fuck are you like that? Soren says, when I hear QC issue, it makes me glad I'm an inbox collector and have not yet opened one figure, and I have almost the entire line. I'm sorry for you. I can imagine looking at my fucking figures and being like, oh, but that's just me. That's just me. Fatrid says, Lawrence, if that's the product they choose, fine, but then packaging should support the product. I'm not sure what you mean. I don't think I've ever had a QC issue out of the box. Okay, here's another. Okay, so yeah, this was another thing that I wanted to mention. Okay, this was another thing that I wanted to mention. When people go like, they've got to stop this QC, there's too many. And this has never been more apparent than with Valaverse. Okay? I think if we look back at a lot of our toys from the 80s, if we're looking back at a lot of our toys from the 80s, there's a lot of QC issues that we didn't know. We didn't know what fucking QC issues were, right? When we see Hasbro has all these issues, oh, this part's broken, this part's broken. Travis Moody did his video with Helix. He had, I think, 2 right hands or 2 left hands. I forget. That's like a QC issue. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would I have 2 of the same fucking hands, right? Doesn't make any sense. That's someone missing everything. But I think one of the other issues is, and I say this has never been more apparent than with Valaverse, because they're a smaller company. Everyone has a camera on their phone and social media. So the moment you have something bad, they're taking a picture of it and then they're posting it online. The question is, how many people take a picture that don't have a problem? Not nearly as many, but if someone has a problem, they're instantly taking a picture and they're posting it, whether or not it's a QC issue. Perfect example is there is a YouTuber that I can't believe anyone listens to. I'm a big fan personally of Toy Connections, but there's another Ken out there who's actually taken one of my pictures of Valaverse, used it as his fucking thumbnail, and fucking lied about what I said. And when I called him out on it in his comments, he just liked and hearted the fucking comment. Now, I don't know how anyone listens to him. And someone had made a comment on my video for Hawk saying, hey, I'm glad you did this. There's another guy, I don't want to say his name. Listen, you guys can figure it out. Or maybe someone in the chat can say it. I ain't going to say his fucking name. And it's not Viper Island, if anyone's wondering. But anyway, he used someone else's picture of Hawk coming out and talking about QC issues. I didn't watch the video because I don't give a shit. And the thing is, once again, he doesn't know. He thinks he knows. And then he gets everyone riled up, doesn't buy the figures. At least that figure wasn't, just like mine. So anyway, going back to that, everyone thinks there's so many QC issues, and what's happening is, yeah, they're taking pictures of every time there's something broken. And again, there are going to be QC issues. Things are going to break. I understand that. And never am I going to say that it's never going to happen. And hey, you know what? You want to resolve as many, but you'll get Valaverse, and it's kind of like, all right, I had 2 figures that were broken. I've had more figures of Valaverse that were broken out of the box than, well, I can't say that anymore because I take it back. I've had more G.I. Joe now, but for a long time, I had 2 figures. I had Scarab where the hip broke right out. People told me I was wrong. It literally just fell off as I opened it up. Also, I had the BBTS exclusive Night Ops Steel Brigade. And the video, I go to take his head off, it pulled right off. Whole fucking shoulder split. Now I'm doing reviews, so yeah, if something happens on mine, you're gonna see it. It doesn't mean that everyone's is like that. Now I did have a lot of people contact me and say, "Hey, I had this issue, I had this issue, I had this issue," right? But the problem is like everyone has a phone. So as soon as they have a fucking problem, they're posting that picture. Start looking around, you start noticing people are using the same picture to bitch about quality, and it's like that ain't even your fucking figure. That ain't your picture. When Ken used mine, I looked at him like, that's my fucking bar. So I know that it's not yours. And everything that he said was bullshit. And again, I called him out in the comments. This is a couple years ago now, whenever the Scarab came out for Valaverse. And I said, that is not what I said. And it was taken care of. And a couple weeks later, he liked and hearted it. But still, my thumbnail sat there, or my picture sat in his thumbnail. Now that is clickbait. You want to know what clickbait is? That is clickbait right there. And again, I'm doing reviews to show you, hey, you know what? But I was also like, I didn't have any issues with my Zorana, so I wasn't going to go around telling everyone. I wasn't going to go around telling everyone that, hey, you know what? Every one of these Zoranas are bad. Well, they weren't. Mine was fine. But I'm also not stupid enough to know, like, hey, there is an issue. There's an issue with the female, and I think what it is that they're just a smaller buck, and they use a softer plastic, and that's why those arms come off. See my cover girl. Her arm was right off. I can pop that thing back on, but I literally have to move it nice and smooth, hold on to it, because if I was trying to play with it, it would fucking break. She gets posed in a position, that's where she stays for a while. And yes, many of you guys nailed exactly who I'm talking about. Again, that type of shit, it's bullshit. Like, there are a lot of clickbaiters out there. You know, you will probably see fucking Viper Island do shit on stuff like this. You know, he doesn't buy fucking figures. There's a bunch of guys that they do all these news bursts, but they don't buy any figures. How the hell are you gonna? I don't understand how you are gonna like try and give me news on something and you don't even buy a figure. You can, I guess, if you wanna go out there and show me, hey, this is what's coming, great. But how do you discuss figures and what figure's good, what figure's bad, if you don't actually hold it in hand? But going back to the whole QC issue again, if you're new here, that's how I do things. All over the fucking place. And I said, I'm going to go 3 hours. I'm going to be out of here at midnight. And here we are at 3 hours and 20 minutes. And no one can say, hey, did you even talk about the topic? Because, yeah, talked about the topic today. He's not my favorite. I will say this. I found there was a lot of interesting when I was learning, trying to figure out how to like refurbish some of my old O-ring stuff, but for the most part, yeah. Whew. Anyway, anyone else have anything else to add? Let's see. The best thing about is, yeah, I will say this, like those two going back and forth, I just couldn't stop laughing. Because the one thing he did was, I will say this, he did point out a lot of things that someone had said that they kind of forgot what they used to say about the Vala blind. So yeah, it is kind of funny. No, it's like 3 hours and Eric. It's been like 3 hours and 30 minutes because I had to work in the morning. I gotta wake up at like 6:15 right now because I don't have my kids. Actually, I don't know where I'm going in the morning. Depending on where I'm going in the morning. Let's see, am I going? Ah, shit. Yeah, I'll be waking up at 6:15 in the morning. So I gotta let Roman out, and I gotta shower, then I gotta let him back out, and I gotta drive, and none of my jobs are around me. They're almost always away. If I had a job close to me, I'd be able to wake up at like 7:15. But yeah. Yeah, and then tomorrow I should be getting Chun-Li in. I had a banquet for my daughter's golf. So she's excited for me because I've never met anyone in her golf thing because I'm always at work. Oh, well, dude, believe me. I listen. I don't think that he really cares that I say his name, but I've told Matthew numerous times that when I listen to that guy, I feel like I get dumber. Like, I've told Matthew numerous times when I hear Ken, I feel like I instantly get dumber. There is so all it was, and you can actually go watch it because I know Shark donated membership to you. But I was doing a recording with Connor from Fuller's Figure, and we got on the topic of Street Fighter figures, and I was mentioning how they're showing up all over the place, but that was one of the first ones where I started getting super chats so I could get her and review her. And I think we already talked about the topic where I don't think that, unlike NECA, Four Horsemen, Sparrow, things like that, they're shipping to like the smaller independent stores and suppliers sooner than the big box stores. And I don't think that Jada Toys does that. And I said, so I've kind of been waiting on it because I've already paid for it because everyone just sent me super chats just so I could get the figure and review her. And I bought it through Hella Dope Toys. And I said, I've kind of been waiting, and it's nothing on you guys, obviously. And I look at my watch and I see Hella Dope Toys, and I look at my phone. I'm like, dude, you ain't going to believe this, but they literally just sent me confirmation that it's been packed and will ship. So it just happened to be literally in the middle of discussing. It wasn't anything great. It was just kind of funny. It was just very ironic. Not funny. It was ironic. That's irony. Not, that song, isn't it ironic, from the 90s? That nothing was ironic in that song. It's literally all bad luck. Like, everything is bad luck. You didn't want to fly, and then you take your first plane and it crashes. That's fucking bad luck. That's not irony. It's just fucking bad luck. Too many spoons when all you need is a fork, or too many whatever it is. That's just fucking bad luck. That's not irony. That's not irony at all. Irony would be that you decided to use your spoon as a fork, and then you got rid of it, and then ice cream came, and you needed a spoon. So anyway, all right. So I am about to wrap it up. We're going to go about 3.5 hours here. God, I can't believe I do this. I can't believe you fuckers listen to me for 3.5 hours. That is awesome. The fact there's still 48. The fact we were at like 72 or 73 for a while. When during Motu TMNT, maybe I should talk more TMNT. I think people still tune in to hear the topic, not realizing that it doesn't start till like in the 11 o'clock hour. But oh well. I'm glad the 48 of you are still here. Please hit that like button if you haven't. We got 66 likes, it looks like. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna kind of be on vacation. It's kind of a work thing that I'm turning it into a vacation. I'm leaving Thursday. I'm supposed to come in on drive back in on Sunday, but I don't have to work the following week. So, hell, if things are going cool, I might just stay an extra day. I don't foresee that happening because then I have to talk to my ex and make sure she still is okay with keeping Roman and everything like that. But I'm like, you know what? I need to do something just easy for a topic. So the topic that we're gonna do, hopefully I won't forget it, is, and again, this is easy. This is just bowing out because I don't want to think of everything. It's not really a vacation. It is. I have to go to New Jersey because I placed top 5 in a test that I took for my company or for the manufacturer. And after so many people have obviously said they don't want to go, it finally made it to me. So I just kind of turned it into it because of where I'm at. But it's going to be best toy logos that they have, whether it be G.I. Joe, Cobra, Transformers, Mask, but the logos, not the cartoons, anything like that. You know, there's some that are really good, and then there's some that are really lame. I don't know. Is G.I. Joe like a really great logo? I mean, it's iconic. But is it great? You know, is Super Friends, is that a great logo? I don't know if it's a great logo, but I just wanted something easy, something that I wouldn't have to think about. So unless if some crazy shit happens when it comes to the toy world, that's what the topic is going to be. I normally normally I don't know it. Yeah, sometimes I have an idea, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be gone. I'm probably going to do the thumbnail before Wednesday. By Wednesday, I got to have everything packed and get ready to go. You know, tomorrow, if I get the Chun-Li, I'll probably do the review when I get home. I'm obviously feeling better, but my throat is still a little dry, but that's because I've been talking for 3.5 hours. But yeah, like, okay, so like, but here's the whole thing. The Transformers, you say, but is it the Transformers logo? Is it the Autobots logo? Is it Decepticons logo? You know, there's a lot of really cool logos, you know, from the toys that we had. And again, I decided it was something, it just kind of popped in my mind. And Captain Power logo, I would have to look that one up. I don't really remember that. I'm sure once I see it, I'll be like, oh, yes. Okay, so I see again, like best logo. Is Star Wars a toy logo or is it a movie logo that they used for the toys? Best Toy Story logo. How dope. I can't really argue with you. I mean, I don't know. Let me see here. I mean, I gotta say, you know, I'm kind of a big fan of this BBTS logo that I turned into a Punk with Toys logo, which all this product is for sale. If anyone is interested in any merchandise, it does help support the channel. All you gotta do is click below and you'll see product down there. And while you're there, you can click and go over to Hella Dope Toys, where you get 10% off if you use my code APWT. 10% off anything, even their pre-orders they do. Well, what if I can do it? And I asked about, and I wonder if I can do any more logos. You guys need to start buying shit. We can kind of, I did kind of make the comment about like, hey, is Star Wars a toy logo or is it a a movie logo. I mean, we could probably mix and match, like, the toy logos, the store logo, toy logos and the movie logos of this type of stuff. So look at that, look at that Roman, look at that, a Roman with toys. That one was specially for Tony, but then again, Tony also wanted, this one. Oh, and I was mentioning about the mugs. So I get the bigger mugs here. If anyone is interested, I need to get that on a shirt. Every time I wear this shirt, I get people to look at me and ask me questions about it. So anyway, that's me just chilling because, hey, that's what you got to do, right? If I'm not going to sell my product, who else is going to sell it for me? But anyway, and I see Connor from Fuller's Figures has shown up. Like I said, if you are a Super Toy Enabler channel member, you can watch his interview right now. It is up for them for early viewing. But this one will go up on Thanksgiving. And like I said, for I think almost every single one that I've done, I think it's a really good interview. We don't get into anything too dark, but I love talking to the foreigners. I love talking to people from foreign countries to get their take on how they collected as a kid, just how they grew up as a kid, and how they got into certain things. And I absolutely love like the G.I. Joe talk because for them, some of them had Action Force and was G.I. Joe. I learned with Shark Eyes that they always had G.I. Joe. It wasn't Action Force. I thought everyone over across the pond had Action Force. But I've given you guys 3 hours and 32 minutes. Yes, I know you guys want more, but I have to kind of work my way back to bed. Get out there and sell that ass, Larry. Believe me, this ass is not for sale anymore. So if I ever go to Michigan on the road, I don't know. I have to buy Punk merch so I don't get shot. You can just order it. Like I don't have it. They print it up for you. It'd be like buying a toy and they print the toy for you. Let's just say this. It's kind of like the selfie series. They print the head for you. The only difference is, at least with my product here, it will look something like what you see, where I think it's safe to say that your selfie series will look absolutely nothing like you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I am feeling better. I didn't even want to do this today, not because of you guys, but I was exhausted. But I get in this chair and listen, you guys make it, completely worth it, man. Honest to God. Even I told Matthew on Friday when we did the members only stream, I'm like, I ain't gonna fucking make it, I don't think, but you can go to whenever. I think we did 3.5 hours. And then I talked to Connor for like 3.5 hours, 12 hours later. I don't know, actually less than 12 hours later. While fitting in, I did the 2 reviews. Anyway, I'm gonna get done. And I'm not gonna be on YouTube for till next Monday. But anyway, this Thursday, make sure you tune in to Punks on Film with Matthew and Ed, and they're going to be talking Silver Bullet, the werewolf movie from Stephen King. So I'm going to get out of here. Everyone have a wonderful night. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I can't say it enough. I am so happy, so grateful for every single one of you. You make this fun. So take care, guys.